Happy New Year, hockey fans, and what is going on? It is your boy Neil Villapiano, the host of the Devil State of Mind podcast right here on the Hockey Podcast Network. And I want to welcome you to a very special edition of Live Watch Along right here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. And today is obviously New Year's Day. And we all know what that means. It is this year's, the 2024 NHL Winter Classic, live from Seattle, Washington, as we have the battle of the two most recent expansion franchises. The defending Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights are in Seattle to take on the up-and-coming Seattle Kraken in what should be yet another really, really exciting outdoor game that we have in store for you. And before we continue on here, make sure, guys, to leave a like on this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we go live right here on this channel for live watch-alongs. We've done several World Juniors games. We always do these big-time games like the Winter Classic, Stadium Series, All-Star Game, and all that good stuff. So make sure you guys are, you got your notifications ready and you're notified when we go live. And before this game gets underway, you have time to leave your predictions in the chat. I will start it, and we'll see who ends up getting the prediction right, or at least the closest. I think that's the way it is. But also, I just want to again say a happy new year to everybody. We are now into the year 2024, and I hope you guys had a really, really good 2023 and are as excited as I am to get underway in this year, especially here at THPN. So excited for this upcoming year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Got a couple of comments already. We got Connor Cahill saying, happy 2024, Neil. Hope you have a good one. Thank you, Connor, for hanging out with us. I hope you do as well. Good to see you, Liam Wolf. Happy New Year to you as well. And also Connor saying to the members and staff of THPN, thank you, Connor, for always your support. We have our first prediction as Connor's going to go with the Vegas Golden Knights to win this one 4-3, while Liam Wolf is going to go with the hometown Kraken in a crazy high-scoring 7-5 game win for the Kraken. As for myself, and I'll put it in the chat as well, my prediction is going to be a 4-2 Kraken win with an empty netter. We always have excitement and a little bit of drama in these games, and there's always that unsung hero that rises to the occasion. And I think today the unsung hero is going to be Oliver Bjorkstrand. I just think that this is one of those times where he's going to really, really get it going and end up, being a big cast. I think he ends up with 2 of the 4 goals today and ends up getting, the first star of the game. So give me the Kraken to win this one today by the final score of 4-2. And again, continue to put your predictions in the chat. Our good buddy Gaza from across the Atlantic Ocean over in England is in the chat. Happy New Year, Gaza. Hope you are doing well as always, and thank you for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. He's going to go with a 5-4 win for the Vegas Golden Knights. So far we have 2 Kraken predictions and we have 2 Golden Knights predictions. So I think this is great that so far we've been, kind of pretty even in terms of it. We do have a good amount of time before we really kind of get underway here, as the players have still yet to take the ice, haven't done the introductions yet, or even the national anthem. So we do have a lot of time for us to chat before this one gets underway, but I wanted to start at exactly 3 o'clock to kind of just get this one going a little bit. As Connor says, it's like 8 p.m. at least in England. I think, it's about 5 hours ahead, so it's just after 8 p.m. So it's not too late for Gaza to be watching this one. Going to be a lot of fun for sure. And again, also Happy New Year to you as well. So we go into this one with a lot of this is very exciting because, again, a very unique place for this Winter Classic to be taking place. And again, it's also unique because you have the 2 most recent expansion franchises going at it, both coming out of the Pacific Division. Currently, the Golden Knights are 16-6-5 and currently in a 3-way tie for first place in the Western Conference with still the surprising Vancouver Canucks. And then you go all the way down to 11th overall in the Western Conference, the Seattle Kraken, 10-4-9 14 with 37 points. So not too far out of a playoff spot. They got off to a slow start this year, but they have started to find their game. They've won. The Kraken are on a 4-game winning streak and have also won 4 of their last 5, while the Golden Knights snapped a 4-game losing streak and got a win, and they're hoping to get themselves a much needed and very special win here at this year's Winter Classic. Again, this is the game that I am always so pumped to cover. I love these outdoor games. I can't get enough of them. I myself will be in attendance for the Stadium Series over here in MetLife Stadium, the home of the New York Giants and New York Jets. I am from New Jersey here in the United States, in case you don't know. And as I mentioned before, I do cover the New Jersey Devils here on the Hockey Podcast Network, Devil's State of Mind, which I highly recommend you guys go check out. But yeah, I'll be in attendance for when the Devils on February 18th will be at home, let's say, still in New Jersey, in East Rutherford, taking on their rivals in the Philadelphia Flyers, who what many people call the Battle of the New Jersey Turnpike. And so it should be good. And then the following day, the New York Rangers take on the New York Islanders at a 3 o'clock game, also at MetLife. So we got a couple more outdoor games to go, but we got this one here today, the 2024 NHL Winter Classic live from where the Mariners play, which I think is called T-Mobile Park. I believe that's the name. If I have it wrong, I do apologize. But nonetheless, this is really exciting. I'm so much looking forward to doing this game today. We got several hours of hockey coverage for you here today. Our good buddy RJ always giving us the updates in hockey and also in other sports as well. Right now, the goaltending matchup looks to be Logan Thompson in net for the Vegas Golden Knights and Joey Daccord for the Seattle Kraken. Again, the Kraken still struggling to kind of find that consistency in terms of, the goaltending with Chris Drieger and also Philip Grubauer. But it looks like it might be Joey Daccord. And we'll know for sure once we're just about ready to get underway. But this is the projected goaltending matchup for this one. Connor says there's still some word of another team joining the NHL. Some say Houston, Texas. Others say Quebec City. I think Portland, Oregon might be a good option. Who else has other suggestions? I have heard that there are definitely talks of expanding to, having at least one more team for the time being. And, Houston, Texas is a big one. It's a big time sports city. Doesn't have a hockey team. They used to have the Houston Aeros back in the WHL, but that was a long time ago. Wouldn't be surprised if they did have a team in Houston that they called them the Aeros. Quebec City, they have been knocking on the door for a long time to get the Nordiques back. They got close and finished just behind Vegas in the voting for the expansion, and then they finished again in second behind Seattle for this most recent expansion. So I do think that there is a lot of belief that at some point the NHL is going to want to go back there, although it is still considered a very small market in the NHL. But I think that Quebec City is ready to get its team back. And I think for a lot of people, it would be great to add another Canadian team and bring back the Nordiques, a team that a lot of people love simply for their designs and the uniforms and the logo and everything. And I think it would be great. So I'm really hoping that maybe that happens. In terms of other places, I know Kansas City, Missouri has been one that has been mentioned a bunch. So we shall see. Liam says it is T-Mobile Park. Okay, thank you for confirming that. Really do appreciate it. RJ letting us know again, 13 games tomorrow. So nobody else in the NHL is playing today. All eyes of the hockey world are focused squarely on this Winter Classic here today. We also do, as mentioned before, the World Junior Championships. They played the end of the preliminary round yesterday, had a day off today, and then the medal rounds will begin tomorrow and also Wednesday as well as we approach who ends up battling for gold, silver, and bronze as well. Should be a lot of fun. Happy New Year from my good friend Jimmy Finizzi of the Blue Seats, a New York Rangers podcast. Thank you as always, my friend. Happy New Year to you as well. We thank you for hanging out with us here this afternoon. Hockey from home saying hi, Happy New Year, and thank you so much for hanging out with us. In case you want to watch this game along with us here in the United States, this game is on TNT. I think also they might be showing the game on TSN or Sportsnet in Canada as well. But again, if you guys want to watch with us, you're more than welcome to. It should be a really, really good one here, as now the NHL could say that they've done an outdoor game in Seattle, so you could cross that off the list of places. Really kind of curious to see where the NHL goes in the next couple of years as to outdoor games. I think you're going to end up seeing one in Arizona at some point. I do think that Vegas will end up getting one in Vegas at some point. There's definitely a lot of other options out there. The NHL does tend to also do a lot of the same teams as well, which I know can annoy people after a while. But nonetheless, I think overall there's going to be more opportunities to have more cities and more venues that we've never seen before play. Who knows? Maybe we'll do an outdoor game or two over in Europe. As part of maybe the global series or just something completely different. So, this is very, it's all fluid. So we shall see. Big matchup today. Jack Eichel against Matty Beniers. Jack Eichel, 16 goals, 24 assists for 40 points, leads the team. Matty Beniers, the reigning Calder Trophy winner. Bit of a struggle this year. 5 goals, 13 assists for a total of 18 points. And it's definitely been a frustrating year for the second-year man out of Michigan, playing for the Seattle Kraken. Again, he really had a tremendous year last year, was a big catalyst to the Kraken getting all the way to Game 7 of the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And, him and the Kraken themselves have struggled somewhat, but you know what? Every game is an opportunity to turn it around, and what better opportunity to do that in a very special venue playing outdoors against the defending Stanley Cup champions than today. This should be a really, really good one, and again, so excited to be doing this here today. RJ giving us the schedule for the World Junior Championships in terms of the medal round. So again, tomorrow you'll have our first quarterfinal matchup will be Slovakia against Finland at 6 a.m. Eastern. So you got to get up pretty early for that one. Canada takes on Czechia at 8:30 a.m. The United States will play Latvia at 11 a.m. And then Sweden, host country Sweden, because this year's World Juniors is in based solely in Sweden. They will be taking on Switzerland at 1:30. So we are now down to, really this, we're down to the nitty gritty here to see who ends up getting, moving on to, the semifinals here and giving themselves an opportunity to try to win a gold medal. For Canada, they're looking to try to win their third in a row. They have won each of the last 2. Connor Kale says, what's my New Year resolution? Buy out or put Tyler Myers on waivers. I'm sorry, but I've had enough of him. Is too much of a liability in defense. Takes way too many penalties, leading straight to goals. As far as I've been told from you, Connor, and other Vancouver Canucks fans, he is certainly not the best defensive defenseman out there. He has certainly had a lot of problems. And so, I don't know, maybe they keep him specifically for the size and playing alongside Nikita Zadorov, but I don't know. Maybe they'll change their mind as the year goes along, or maybe even at the end of the year. But certainly he's been one of the few liabilities on what has been the most surprising team in the NHL, currently in a 3-way tie for first place overall in the Western Conference. RJ helping us out as always. Don't forget, guys, to leave a like on this stream if you like what you see. Also subscribe, and again, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we go live right here on THPN. At least Toronto had a sense to put their number one goalie on waivers. Yes, Ilya Samsonov was put on waivers yesterday. I think most likely he ends up going through waivers and ends up getting sent down to the AHL like Jack Campbell did with Edmonton a few weeks ago. Should also mention kind of a fun thing that these teams do for these outdoor games. They have these walkouts and they wear these unique suits or whatever, like just to kind of look cool. And the Golden Knights came in, everybody dressed as Elvis, which I think is a nice little touch. And in terms of the Golden Knights, they went out as people who work in the fish areas in the Seattle market, wearing the beanies and the overalls, and they were all carrying a fish. I don't know if they were real or not, but it was very cool. Very cool, and I love that uniqueness that they all do for these games. They see him as liability, which proves that time and time again. Yes, exactly. RJ also give me an update for my New Jersey Devils. Their next game will be Wednesday night in D.C. against the Washington Capitals at 7:30 p.m. That will be a nationally televised game, I believe, on TNT. I think that's their next broadcast after this one. That game will also be on MSG as well, and also NBC Washington, or whatever the Washington-based television is. The Vegas Golden Knights have just been introduced and are currently coming out of their locker room. Again, Logan Thompson is going to be the starting netminder for the Vegas Golden Knights in this one, and they're rocking their Winter Classic uniforms, kind of a cream overall with, gold on the sides and also on the arms and right below, or right above the waist. And they got gold gloves, which is very, very cool. They got kind of a silver gray metallic helmet. And then they got the V, which is very, very cool as well. So a nice little touch. Certainly not one of my favorites, but I think sometimes just kind of doing simple ends up working out. And I think in this regard, I think it has worked out for the Vegas Golden Knights for sure. Vegas did, of course, talking about outdoor games, Vegas did have one way back in 1991, but that was a matchup between the New York Rangers and Los Angeles Kings. It was at the Caesars Palace, and the Kings won 5-2, and Wayne Gretzky did play. So that was kind of an early taste for Vegas as to what hockey would look like. Wayne Gretzky, even on the pregame show, kind of mentioned it. But I do believe now that you have a professional hockey team in Vegas, that now is a good opportunity to do that with the hometown team. I think you could really, really get a good crowd for that. Seattle Kraken have now been introduced, and now they are slowly coming onto the ice. There's a lot of nice little touches here as they got fishermen throwing fish left and right as the players are walking through them. So that's kind of a cool, again, a nice little touch. I know that every year they look to try to have these little unique things that base around the state and wherever they're playing. So it's very, very cool. Seattle Kraken are rocking a jersey tribute to the Seattle Metropolitans, the first professional hockey team that played in Seattle and won the first ever Stanley Cup for an American team in 1917. So this is a very, very cool This is just very cool altogether. I think it's outside. I'm going to say the word cool probably way too many times today. If anybody wants to count how many times I say cool before the end of this Winter Classic, I would love to see how many I say by the end of this one. Connor says the Heritage Uniforms Calgary wore a few months ago were hilarious and reminded to everyone they think Calgary is Dallas. So we're Cowboys, and Edmonton wore uniforms of those working on oil rigs. Yeah, again, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Each team will have a nice little, unique kind of pregame outfits that everybody will wear. I'm sure you're going to see a bunch of that as well for the 2 Stadium Series games. Again, just to kind of, embrace what is a really, really kind of exciting and special time. All these outdoor games are special, but in my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of people would agree, that nothing is more special on the NHL's calendar, especially for big events, than the Winter Classic. And so this is going to be a good one. They're currently doing the national anthem as we speak. They got kind of a kid rocking out his guitar. So we still have a couple of minutes before this one truly, truly gets underway. And you still have time to put your predictions in the chat. So far, including my prediction, we have 4 predictions. We have 2 for the Golden Knights, and we have 2 for the Kraken. So, and a lot of different scores as well. Pretty much all of them have certainly 7 or more goals as well. And if you're feeling confident and want to put a little bit of money down on maybe betting the over for goals, which I think is at 6.5 right now, make sure to go to DraftKings, as you can see in the bottom left corner of your screen. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook, sign up, use our promo code THPN to get some extra money for your bets. And as always, tell them that your boy Neil Villapiano sent you. And Again, as always, shout out to DraftKings Sportsbook for being the official sports betting partner of THPN. And as always, guys, make sure you are betting responsibly. Connor said, what would they wear? What would the Devils wear as kind of like their unique pregame outfit? I had just said to my brother that I feel like they're going to end up doing some like Sopranos like thing because it's like such a Jersey thing to do. And everybody, like when you think of New Jersey, they also could do like a Jersey Shore kind of thing, especially because it's going to be cold and they'll wear like, swim trunks and stuff like that. Who knows? So I think most likely you're going to see either like a Jersey Shore type thing, or you're going to end up seeing more like a Sopranos thing is kind of how it goes with that. National Anthem just wrapped up, so the players are going to get on the ice, warm up a little bit, and then we are going to finally get the 2024 NHL Winter Classic underway. I do have a book on the 1919 Stanley Cup Finals. 1919. Sorry, I had the wrong year. Thank you, guys, for correcting me. It was not 1917. It was 1919. Stanley Cup Finals between the Montreal Canadiens and the Seattle Metropolitans when the Spanish flu epidemic wiped out several players, and then the final was abandoned. So that was the Metropolitans. They were looking for their second Stanley Cup, and the Spanish flu back then, no joke. Didn't have any vaccine for that. It was certainly a difficult time, and ended up, as Gaza put it so nicely, kind of got rid of several players, unfortunately, which is very tragic, and they had to abandon it. So very, very unfortunate. But luckily, we are now in a day and age where we have a lot more. For modern medicine, it's been working out. Connor likes the idea of Sopranos outfits. Question is, who would be brave enough to dress up as Tony? I think, who knows? Maybe they'll purposely make it someone like Jack Hughes, or even like Nico Hischier because he's the captain. Who knows? Or maybe they'll make Lindy Ruff dress up as a little bit of Tony Soprano. Who knows? But again, I think that's kind of where they're going to end up going with it because, again, this game is in New Jersey. Both games, not just Devils Flyers, but also Rangers Islanders, will be based around the Sopranos. So I think that's kind of the way you're going to look at it. So again, we are just moments away from the start of this one. We've already been on for almost a half hour, which, they say, the game starts at 3. It really doesn't because you have those pregame festivities, players coming on the ice, doing the national anthem, and all of that good stuff. But now we are just about ready to get underway. It is currently 42 degrees in Seattle with fog and mist, so looks like it's going to be decent weather. They also do have a retractable roof at T-Mobile Park, so if things get frustrating either with the rain or with the sun, they could just close it up. Again, Logan Thompson in net for the Vegas Golden Knights since September 12th, coming back from injury. He has won all 3 of his games again. Joey Decord is in net for the Seattle Kraken since December 12th. He is 5-0-2, and he leads the NHL with a minimum 5 appearances for goals against average and also save percentage. So they are certainly riding with the hot hand for sure, and we are just about ready to get this one underway. I'm excited. I hope you guys are as well, as we are just about ready to kick off the new year with a big time game here in the Winter Classic between these two Pacific Division. You could say maybe they're starting to build that rivalry. Who knows? Maybe this is kind of where that rivalry will really kind of get underway, as we're still doing a little bit of hoopla here. As actually, I think they're about to drop a banner, it looks like, here on TNT. Kind of waiting here to see what happens. Okay, so now they're going to let go of the thing. They're going to let go of the banner, and it says, the Kraken's 7th man. Interesting. Very nice little touch. Nice little touch there. And now I think we're about ready to get underway. MCS and L, thank you so much for hanging out with us. You just got here. The game is actually just about to get underway. The players are at center ice. So is the referee. And the 2024 NHL Winter Classic is officially underway. So let's see how both teams kind of come out here to start this one, kind of testing out this ice and everything. Again, this game is at T-Mobile Park, the home of the Seattle Mariners of Major League Baseball in Seattle, Washington, right across the street from where the Seattle Seahawks played, who just played last night and lost at home to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Vegas Golden Knights come right in as Mark Stone behind the net tries to feed it in front, but nobody was there. The Barbashev trying to keep it in for the Golden Knights, but now it's intercepted by Tanev, tries to get it to Wenberg just out of his reach, and the puck goes all the way down into the Vegas zone, and we'll get an icing here just 41 seconds in. Again, the head coach for the Seattle Kraken is Dave Haxtell, still their only coach. Minor league career began with the Indianapolis Ice back in 1991. Head coach for 11 years at the University of North Dakota. Then was the Flyers head coach from 2015 to 2019 and guided the Kraken to the playoffs in just their second season last year, all the way to the second round, Game 7 of the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So opportunity here is Jonathan Marchessault. Sharp angle try there, and that one is fought off by Decord. So an early shot there from the reigning Conn Smythe Trophy winner. Another try there. That one gets blocked in front. And now the Kraken look to come the other way here as now Olofsson drops it off to Tanev. Tanev with a wrist shot, and that one is knocked away by the right leg pad of Thompson. And the puck comes back out to center ice. Marchessault drops it off, gets it, and a slap shot from Marchessault goes high and wide of the net. Kraken now slowly coming up the other way here. Get around a defender into the right corner. As now here comes Vegas again. Marchessault by himself, and he'll just lightly dump it in as both teams make a change. Elias says, hello, sorry, I don't speak English, but I have one question. Seattle Kraken versus Vegas Golden Knights. First time, 0-0. I speak Portuguese. This game just got underway. It is no score here, but now the Kraken with an opportunity that gets blocked. No score here. Again, first period as well. So the game just got underway less than 2 minutes ago. Thank you, Elias, for hanging out with us. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you like what you see, and we thank you for hanging out with us. As now Joey Decord will play the puck behind his own net to Brian Dumoulin. Dumoulin will chip it up the boards now to 37. And here come the Kraken with a little bit of opening here. Takes a wrist shot that just goes high and wide of Thompson. Is now looking to try to keep it in here as Tolvanen tries to chip it over to Bjorkstrand. Tolvanen keeps it in, and he almost was able to get it top of the point, but it goes all the way back down where Decord will have to play it. And now Vince Dunn will reset it here for the Kraken. Tips over the left side. Vince Dunn gets it now over to Burakovsky. Feeds over, takes a shot, and that one is fought off by Thompson. Is 52 of Seattle with a good point-blank chance. An early, really good opportunity for Seattle. Kraken player loses the stick, and now the Golden Knights come the other way here, up the right boards. Now Howden takes a high riser. That one is fought off, pops up in the air, but goes wide of Decord. So both goalies tested a little early here, and they've been ready so far as Burakovsky turns it over in his zone, but luckily Wenberg's able to get there, and now Andre Burakovsky regains the puck, chips it over to his teammate who will dump it in, as now both teams will make a quick change here. Seattle Kraken on an 8-game point streak with an impressive 6-0-2 record during that span. They are as hot can be as that shot by Mark Stone goes wide up the cord. Top line on right now for the Golden Knights as Eichel tries to throw it in front. Nobody home, and now Jared McCann will dump it into the right corner back in the Vegas zone here just about 3.5 minutes in to our first period here of this year's NHL Winter Classic. So now 24 gets to Olofsson. Tries to get it over to McCann. It got broken up. Both teams whacking at it at center ice here. Kind of puck's chipping around a little bit, but McCann will settle it for Seattle, and he'll wait until his teammates make a change, including him. So now Dumoulin up the left boards. Gets it back over to the right side to Schultz. Tries to drop it off to Tomas Tatar, who Tatar was picked up off waivers. As now here comes Carrier, drops it off, takes a shot, and that is a big-time block from Jordan Eberle there, the former New York Islander. Now, Eberle looks like his stick just shattered. He had to drop it, and he'll go back to get a new one. But, Tomas Tatar was actually put on waivers by the Colorado Avalanche and then was picked up by the Seattle Kraken. So now he gets kind of a fresh start after he really struggled in the first 20 or so games that he played with the Avalanche. As now the Kraken keeping in with a shot, but that one is gloved and covered by Thompson just about 4.5 minutes in to this first period. What is going on, AI Frank? He says Team USA all the way. So we obviously know who he's cheering for in the World Juniors. He also is a big Devils fan as well. We thank you for hanging out with us, Frank. Don't forget to leave a like on this video as well. And subscribe if you haven't already. All this helps out the channel tremendously here. Both teams with 2 shots on goal apiece early in this one. As the Kraken dump it back in. But it's intercepted now as Oliski gets it top of the point now to Adam Larsson over the left side to Dunn. Dunn takes a right shot, deflected, score! And I believe it's Tolvanen, and it is. He deflects it, and the Kraken have struck first early in this one. It is 1-0 Seattle on just their 3rd shot of this one, and a big-time start for the hometown Kraken. So Tolvanen with a beautiful deflection as it deflected to, it was going to the far right side, but a great deflection by Tolvanen redirects it out of the position of Thompson and into the back of the net. And we have a 1-0 contest here as Eli Tolvanen, who, remember last year, shockingly, was put on waivers by the Predators and he was picked up by Seattle and he has found a home so far. So on just the 3rd shot for Seattle and 6th shot overall, it is Tolvanen with the game's first goal to give the Kraken the early 1-0 lead. That is a really good start if you're Seattle. Also for Eli Tolvanen, that is his 100th career points. So what a way to get your 100 point to get that milestone with getting a goal in the Winter Classic. Burakovsky with a shot that gets blocked, regains the puck, tries to feed it into the slot to Carterley, but it's intercepted now by Kolesar, as now he'll just dump it in here. So we've just reached here just about 5.5 minutes into this one. Eli Tolvanen on his 100th career point deflects that puck in, his 10th goal of the year, and it gives the Kraken the 1-0 lead. Jared Brown saying, Neil, GG's on the Devils versus Bruins game. Yes, you guys came back and won that one pretty decisively after the Devils went up 2-0. So I guess you could say good for you guys. But, we got a win against you earlier in the year. So it's been a good battle between those two teams, the Bruins and the Devils. Vegas actually got a shot taken away. So they only have 2 shots on goal. So that goal was on just the 5th shot overall of the game and the 3rd for Seattle. But again, good start if you are the Kraken here, as that gets the crowd going. And yes, we did add a couple of goal horns as well. We got both Seattle and Vegas. So when Vegas scores, if they do, we will obviously play that as well. So Adam Larsson and Vince Dunn will get assists on Tolvanen's goal, his 10th of the year. And again, so I know I keep repeating myself, but again, that is Tolvanen's 100th career point. So again, very special in more ways than one there for Tolvanen to reach that milestone. What jersey do you like? I guess you're asking, Jared, which one do I like more? I would definitely say, hands down, it is the Seattle Kraken. I love them honoring the Seattle Metropolitans, who were the first professional hockey team in Seattle, who was also the first American team to win the Stanley Cup. I think it's great. Absolutely great. So for me, I'm leaning, I'm like 90, almost, actually, I'm like close to almost 100% leaning towards the Kraken. I would love to get my hands on one for sure. They are absolutely beautiful. Takeaway here by Stevenson of the Golden Knights, but he lost the puck. But then Alec Martinez chips it right back in here as now the Kraken look to try to get it out of their own zone and with a little bit of danger, and they do as Tatar drops it off to Matty Beniers. Matty Beniers into the Golden Knights zone, tries to feed Tatar, can't get to it, but he regains it. Tatar wraps it around the boards to Beniers. Beniers now back to Tatar in the left corner. As Tatar loses the puck, and now here comes Marchessault the other way. Might be a 3-on-2 for Vegas if they hurry. Marchessault, toe drag shot, and that one is gloved and covered by Decord. Just over 7 minutes into this one, Eeli Tolvanen with the game's first goal, a deflection in front for his 10th of the year, his 100th career point. And more specifically, gives the Seattle Kraken the early 1-0 lead. And we'll step aside for the first time today to get a word from our sponsors. So if you're just tuning in here, Eeli Tolvanen, with his 10th goal of the year, got a beautiful deflection in front just a few minutes ago to give the Kraken the 1-0 lead here early in this year's NHL Winter Classic live from T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. And again, if you didn't know, that goal also gave Tolvanen his 100th career point, which is really, really cool. So good start if you're the hometown Seattle Kraken. If you're Vegas, again, still early, no reason to panic whatsoever. But Kraken have been playing super, super well of late. They are on an 8-game point streak coming into this one, and they've also won 4 in a row and are 6-0-2 in their last 8. So, again, got off to a slow start this year, but they have certainly found their game. Dave Hackstall continuing to do a really good job here as the first coach of the Seattle Kraken. Jared Brown was asking me a question earlier. Do you guys have a Winter Classic or no? The Devils have not played in a Winter Classic yet. They have played in one Stadium Series game back in 2014 when they lost 7-3 at Yankee Stadium to the New York Rangers. And as mentioned before, on February 18th of this year, they'll be taking on the Philadelphia Flyers in the NHL Stadium Series. That game will be at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then the following day after that, the New York Rangers will take on the New York Islanders at 3 p.m. Eastern in the second game of the 2 games for the Stadium Series. It's Vince Dunn with a shot that gets deflected up and out of play. But yeah, for the Devils, it'll be just their second outdoor game. They rocked their old red, green, and white jerseys for the first one, but this year they are definitely going to have custom jerseys. We've gotten a couple little looks at what it might end up being. We got a couple little hints, and we're all very curious and optimistic that it's going to be some really good ones. I mean, if it's anything like the Seattle Kraken ones, I'm going to be very happy. As now Tanev with a sharp angle shot that gets fought off by Thompson. Now Pietrangelo tries to get it out, chips it to Eichel, and Eichel will dump it all the way back into the Seattle zone. Not enough for an icing, though, so we play on here with 11 and a half minutes to go in the opening frame. 1-0 Seattle, thanks to a goal from Eeli Tolvanen. As now Tanev into the left corner, and that's taken away by Vegas. Jack Eichel up the right side here, still with the puck, tries to get around a defender, still with it behind the net, feeds it in front with a shot, and that one somehow didn't go through, as I don't know if Decord got a piece, but it ended up and out of play. Face off here in the Seattle zone with 11:17 to go, as that was Nick Hague, number 14 for Vegas, that took that shot. Again, Joey Daccord since December 12th has the best goals against average and save percentage in the league, minimum of 5 games. So that's pretty cool. So you getting a slow motion replay for Nick Hague. Oh, and actually, his shot got deflected by number 3 of Seattle. So it never even got to Daccord. So that shot does not count as a shot on goal. And one of my family members just came into the room. Face off to the right of Joey Daccord here in the Seattle zone. As face off one here by Seattle, as they'll try to get it out, but it's taken away by Vegas here as they got their second line out. Carrier chips it up the boards to Marceau, tries to feed it in front, nobody home. And now Tomas Tatar comes up the right side here for Seattle, and he'll chip it in and try to get there first. As Zach Whitecloud gets it over to McNabb. Now to Stevenson. Stevenson having some trouble here, and Seattle is able to keep it in as Matty Beniers will go into the right corner with Whitecloud. They're both fighting at it. Both teams got 2 guys there, but now it's in it, taken by Stevenson, and now the Golden Knights will look to come the other way. Marchessault tries to get it over to William Carrier, missed him, but Carrier gets to it first in the left corner. Jordan Eberle now comes the other way for Seattle. Tatar now waits, tries to get over to Dunn. Broken up, but Tatar gets it back, throws it in front, but that goes right into the chest of Thompson, and we'll get a face-off here in the Vegas zone. 10:27 remaining in the first. Again, 1-0 Seattle, thanks to an Eli Tolvanen goal on just their 3rd shot of the contest. It is definitely a sold-out crowd at T-Mobile Park, and I'm sure for everybody there, it's a special occasion. I actually, with my brother and my dad, we actually were in Boston for last year's Winter Classic between the Bruins and the Pittsburgh Penguins at Fenway Park. It was great experience, absolutely fun. It was my 2nd Winter Classic that I've been to. A couple years ago, I think it was 2018, I saw the Rangers play the Buffalo Sabres. So I've been to a couple of Winter Classic games. I've been to a couple of outdoor games just overall, and I'm excited to go see the Devils play the Flyers at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, a little over a month from now for the Stadium Series. It's going to be a lot of fun. Puck in the right corner here of the Vegas zone. Puck comes out in front. Bjorkstrand intercepts it for Seattle, keeping it in. Bjorkstrand stops on a dime, gets it top of the point. Now with a wrist shot, it gets deflected. Scramble in front. Bjorkstrand keeps it, waits, takes another shot, and that one's fought up by Thompson. Good pressure here from Seattle. Gets it top of the point. Over to 24. Now takes a wrist shot from a high point that gets blocked. Again, continue to put the pressure. Tolvanen, top of the point now to Lexiak. Lexiak now to back to Tolvanen. He waits, gets around a defender, still with it now, takes a shot. That is blocked in front, scramble, gets it back out. One-time shot there. That is stopped as well by Thompson, and he'll dive on it and cover. And then some pushing and shoving after the whistle here. But arguably the best shift for either team. A couple of really good chances for the Kraken, but just couldn't get it past Logan Thompson. Yanni Gourde will slowly make his way back to the bench here with 9:17 to go in this opening frame. Still 1-0 Seattle Kraken here as they'll look to continue to try to push for more as Alexiak, all he can do there is smile after getting denied by Logan Thompson. Nestor Jesus is saying, Vamos Vegas. We actually got a couple likes on Facebook today. Really do appreciate it. We're also live, obviously, again, on YouTube, and we are live on Twitch as well. We like to interact with as many people as possible. And again, if you are new here, make sure to leave a like on this video. Also subscribe here on YouTube and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we go live. And we will step aside for a quick moment to let me catch my breath and also get another quick word from our sponsors. we're back here. Live watch along right here on THPN of the 2024 NHL Winter Classic. Eli Tolvanen with the only goal so far came earlier in this period. That made it 1-0. They just had a really good rush before the commercial break and nearly were able to double the lead, but Logan Thompson was able to shut the door as Seattle keeps in. Dumoulin with a shot that gets blocked, and now Pietrangelo comes the other way for Vegas as he'll dump it in, but now he gets it right back. Takes a shot for Colasar, and that one is fired by DeCord in the rebound try. Good stick lift by Seattle there. Otherwise, it might have been an easy tap-in goal for Vegas to tie it. As now Brian Dumoulin will settle it down over to Adam Larsson. Chips up the boards, and it's taken away by Howden. Chips it over now to Waugh. Both teams whacking at it in front of the Seattle bench at the moment. Both teams still whacking at it here with 8:40 and ticking to go in this first period. Both teams still whacking at it here as they struggle to kind of move the puck. We'll see how long the refs wait until they blow a whistle. They won't, as Burakovsky finally gets to it, and he'll dump it back in as both teams make a change. Now it's up here. Alexiak jumps it off to Bjorkstrand, and Bjorkstrand will slowly tap it back into the Vegas zone. Jeremy McCann trying to intercept it there, but he could not. Vegas now dumps it almost back into the Kraken zone. Now they keep it in. Barbashev get his stick lifted. A good poke check there by Bjorkstrand to get it out. Connor says that he's still looking to push me to do a Canucks game later this season, making sure Dylan reads this. I will do a Canucks game if I don't go to the one next next weekend, next Saturday when the Devils are at home later this upcoming weekend when the Devils are at home against the Kraken. If I'm not at that game, I will do my best to do that game live. Okay? That much is it. If not, I will try to do a Canucks game at some point this year, maybe even in the playoffs. Who knows? So we'll see. We shall see. 7.5 minutes to go here in the first. As now Jack Eichel will just lightly dump it into the left corner here in the offensive zone. Carrier trying to keep it in for Vegas. Tolvanen intercepts, and now Matty Beniers comes up the right side looking for a trailer. Takes a wrist shot that gets deflected up and out of play with 7:11 to go here in the opening frame. So it feels like so far that Seattle has really kind of taken the energy and excitement and playing in front of the home crowd and used it to their advantage. They got the 1-0 lead. I feel like that they've been the better of the two teams in terms of creating chances. So far, Vegas has had, they've had maybe one shot that I would say was like a good one, but other than that, Joey DeCord has been able to see everything pretty easily. I think Vegas has got to find a way to get more bodies in front of DeCord because right now it's been very easy for him to see those shots. Face off in the Vegas zone, won by Vegas for a moment, but it's intercepted by Seattle. Gets over to Yanni Gourde. Back over around to the other side here as now Adam Larsson gets it. Now Yanni Gourde keeping it in. Feeds it over now to Bjorkstrand with a shot that gets blocked. Good shot right in the slot, but Yanni Gourde keeps it in. Tries to feed it in front. Still whacking at it. Now on the right side. Wraps it around the boards now to Bjorkstrand. Meanwhile, what's on shot by Tolvanen? That one's fought off by Thompson. Tolvanen looking for his second already there. Bjorkstrand still finding when a puck comes over. Yanni Gourde tries to get over Tolvanen. Good chip there by Thompson. Marchessault trying to get it out. He just barely does. Thompson backhands it and missed Marchessault. And then Seattle with Vince Dunn will go back and play it here. So again, that line with Bjorkstrand and Tolvanen being the difference. So far, they have a goal with Tolvanen's goal, so far the only one, and they had a couple of good chances there on that last rush. Shots are currently 6-5 in favor of Seattle, so relatively even when it comes to shots on goal. William Karlsson chips it over now to the left side. 43 keeping it in. He gets crunched into the boards there. Now puck is in the left corner. Matty Beniers gets to it. Gets a nice pass to Alexiak, who will easily get it out. And Alexiak will dump it now into the right corner back in the Vegas zone. Jordan Eberle got to it first. Matty Beniers lost it for a moment. Both teams whacking at it. Taken away by Howden. And now here comes the Golden Knights the other way. They'll try to get around here as 3 makes a good play. Haig now into the left corner. As now Seattle will control it. Beniers gets it over now to Carter Lee. Puck bounces up in the air. Seattle trying to keep it in. They cannot. Puck goes back into the Seattle zone where they'll dump it right back in. Vegas zone, no icing here. We're at 5:13 and ticking to go in the first. Punk dumped Reagan in. Oh, boy, that puck came off the boards, came right out in front, but Thompson was able to make the play before any Seattle player could get there. Good defensive play there by Seattle, again, to negate that opportunity. Puck comes loose. Pietrangelo gets to it, takes a wrist shot that gets blocked. Another opportunity, doesn't get to Decord. Puck in the right corner now in the Seattle zone. Vegas trying to get an opportunity here, gets to top of the point. And hey, drive by Pietrangelo, and that one is gloved. And we get a whistle here off a good save from Decord, who has now saved all 6 shots he has faced from Vegas up until this point. Connor says, how long does a goalie hold the puck before play is whistled dead? Still analyzing the goal in Tampa and thought the Habs goalie held it for a while. I've often said this before, Connor, because this is a good question. I've often said this before, that it always depends on the referees that you deal with. Some guys have a quick whistle. Some guys, they just want to wait it out and see if things progress. Who knows? So I think I would say like an average, maybe 3 to 4 seconds, because eventually the ref's got to find a way to see that puck. But if he loses it, he's going to blow the whistle, or he's going to blow the whistle because he wants to make sure that nothing over the top happens in that situation. Happy New Year, Danelle. Good to see you as always, my friend. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here today. As always, man, you know the drill. Make sure to leave a like on this video. We do appreciate you hanging out with us on this first day of the year 2024 here watching this NHL Winter Classic. Vegas always lets me down. The F1 Grand Prix was stupid, and anytime I predict the Golden Knights lose. You know, Gaza, you are experiencing what a lot of people experience when they go to Vegas, that they have high hopes. They think you're going to make a good amount of money on some bets. And then, you know, as they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And a lot of the time, so does your money as well, unfortunately. What's going on? Leafs franchise mode, HBF. Good to see you, my friend. Happy New Year to you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Make sure to leave a like while you're here. Really do appreciate it. And we thank you for hanging out with us here. So we got a couple minutes to go here in this first period. Again, Eeli Tolvanen earlier in this period got the game's first and still only goal. Even though the shots are pretty much even at 6-5 for Vegas, I feel like from the chances, it's been a lot more Seattle. I feel like they've been the better team. They have fed off the crowd. They have fed off the energy, and as a result, they've had some really good chances. So far, for the most part, Vegas is able to weather the storm. They did give up that goal, but again, it's only 1-0, and one break here could easily get the Golden Knights on the board and tie this one up at 1. Face off to the right of Joey Decord in the Seattle zone. Face off won originally by Vegas, but then it's taken away. Here comes Tanev the other way for Seattle. Stops on a dime, gets it back. Drive there and stop. Rebound try almost goes past Thompson, but he regroups. Puck is in the right corner of the Vegas zone. Wenberg now fighting along with Pietrangelo. Wenberg trying to get it over to McCann. McCann and Pietrangelo also fighting for it. Puck stays in for Seattle as Alexiak gets it over. Wenberg trying to get to it, but it's taken away by Barbashev, and he'll backhand it out. Currently, total goals, the over-under is 5.5. The under is at a -110, and the over is a -120. Jordan Eberle gets it now over to McCann. McCann feeds it over to Alexiak, who will just lightly dump it in. He falls down. Both teams look to make a quick change here. 3:50 and ticking to go in this first period. Still 1-0 Seattle. All right, fair enough. I mean, I've never been to Vegas myself. I don't really plan on it unless I'm going to go see the Raiders because I am a Raiders fan. I will also check out a Golden Knights game if I have time, especially if the Devils are playing. I mean, I will certainly go. Checking the game right now on TT, let me ask you, Neil, what do you think of how both Winter Classic jerseys look on the ice? Someone did ask me before which jersey did I like more. Personally, I think the Seattle one's a lot better. 2-on-1 for Vegas. Thompson tries to feed it over to Decord. Puck is loose, but it's somehow under Joey Decord. It's actually right on his chest, and we get a whistle here. So a 2-on-1. Stevenson waited till the last minute to make a pass, and he almost was able to bank it off Decord and in, but Decord covers it and denies Vegas again of tying this one up. But to go back to answer your question, Danelle, for me personally, I'll say right off the bat with Seattle, 10 out of 10. I think they're awesome. I love that they honor the Seattle Metropolitans. I think the color scheme is great. I think the design is great. Absolutely love it. For Vegas, I think it's a pretty solid one. I like the type of gold that they're using. Also that, I guess you would call it cream colored. The logo itself is okay. Not a big fan of it. For them, I would say that's like a 7 out of 10. But that doesn't mean that I think it's bad either. I think they're both very solid. As that high-rising shot from Seattle is gloved and covered by Thompson, as they look to try to get a deflection there. There was a man in front, but couldn't get a stick on it. So we got 2:55 here to go in this first period. Eeli Tolvanen with the only goal so far, giving the Kraken the 1-0 lead. But again, I like, especially this again, what was that? Yanni Gourde was the one that was looking to deflect that. I don't know. If he had gotten a piece of that and maybe had gone in, I think that would have been waved off because his stick was pretty high, and Thompson had some choice words for him after he covered it. So, a little bit of words there. Vegas wins the faceoff here and tries to get it out of the zone. Howden, it's knocked off the puck, goes into the Seattle zone here. Will Kraken get to it first? Kraken trying to settle it down here. Some good pressure here on the forecheck from Vegas, but they lose the puck. It comes out of the zone. Have to be careful here as they almost gave a 2-on-1 chance for Seattle. Burakovsky intercepts it, gets a Cartlisle, and he'll dump it into the left corner here with 2.5 minutes to go in the first. Now it's intercepted by Burakovsky. He stops, still with it now. Burakovsky tries to make a pass. It's broken up, and Vegas comes the other way. Kolesar, he'll dump it in now into the right corner of the Seattle zone. As now Dumoulin will get to it for Seattle. He's in the left corner. Take it away now. Turnover opportunity for Jack Eichel and a big-time save from Joey Daccord. Point blank, he robs Jack Eichel, who was all alone there looking to tie it up. But Joey Daccord continuing to play well. Again, he's gone 5-0-2 in his last 7 games. He has played so well. A big reason for Seattle's success of late. But a big-time save, biggest save of the game so far there, just point-blank denying Jack Eichel of a look like a goal. 2-on-1 here for Seattle. Tanev with a shot, and that one's fought off by Thompson, and it goes up into the mesh. Oh, Brandon Tanev there with a great chance on a 2-on-1. I don't disagree with him trying to shoot it there. I think he really was looking to maybe had a pass there, but nonetheless, good opportunity. And then again, just moments before that, Daccord the great save. Jack Eichel, all he can do is shake his head. Can't believe that he did not score there. Golden, no pun intended, a golden opportunity for the Golden Knights there to score. But again, Daccord stopping all 9 shots that he's faced. Face-off in the Vegas zone is won by Vegas as Malik Martinez chips it around the boards to Carrier. Carrier being hemmed now by 2 Kraken players. Eberle dumps it around to the other side where Jonathan Marchessault will get to it first, and he'll calmly flip it out of the zone, where now Carrier tries to hold it in. He gets it back into the Seattle zone here, goes in the left corner. Vince Dunn gets to it first for Seattle, chips it up to Eberle, and now here come the Kraken with a little bit of speed here, but Matty Beniers spins out of control and loses the puck. And now Packle, number 94, will play it for Vegas here with 1 minute to go in the opening period. We'll see if either team can get a late one here. Packle up the right side, gets broken up by Seattle. They'll chip it out, and now here comes Bjorkstrand. He'll dump it right to Thompson. He lost it, but luckily it didn't go into the net, as that was a bouncer there that almost turned into a disaster. Alexiak getting it over now to Schultz. And Schultz will get off the stick here, goes right to Thompson, and he'll just cover it as Yanni Gourde was breathing down his neck. We'll get a face-off here in the Vegas zone with 32.7 to go in this first period as they show the replay of the Brandon Tanev shot. He tried to go top shelf over the glove of Thompson, but Thompson did get a piece. If he didn't there, that's easily in the back of the net. And then they showed again just moments ago, Bjorkstrand's backhand shot that, bounced up, and Thompson got a piece of it, but then he lost it and nearly turned it over. That would have been awful. Puck back into the left corner of the Seattle zone as Dumoulin wraps it around the boards. Taken away by Zach Whitecloud. Tries to get over. A sharp angle try from Carlson. Fought up by Daccord. Another opportunity there is stopped by Daccord as well. And then Seattle will bank it off the boards all the way down. And that'll be an icing here against the Kraken with 11 seconds to go in this period. So maybe one last face-off here before the end of these first 20 minutes. But a couple of good saves again from Joey Daccord, who has now faced 11 shots and stopped all 11. So Vegas definitely has picked up their pressure over the last couple of minutes here with that great chance all alone for Jack Eichel and then those two opportunities moments ago. Face-off won by Vegas as Jack Eichel with a shot that gets blocked. 5 seconds to go here. That shot gets blocked as well. Puck bouncing around on the left boards. 1 second to go here, and that will do it for the first period of this Winter Classic. And so again, Eeli Tolvanen with the only goal so far, his 10th of the year, his 100th career point. And that's the difference after 20 minutes of play. Joey Daccord stopping all 11 Vegas shots, while Logan Thompson finishes stopping 9 of 10. So I think overall, guys, you can say that it's a pretty good even game, although I will argue to say that Seattle, for the most part of that first period, was the better team. They had a couple of really good chances to potentially double the lead, but Logan Thompson was strong in net there. And then, again, Vegas started to pick it up at the end of that period, got a couple of good chances, but Joey Daccord so far on his game and continuing to play very, very well. So let me know what you guys think in the chat. What are you thinking of this game so far and how you think it's going to continue to progress? Before we get to our first intermission report, we're going to step aside to get another quick word from our sponsors. Welcome, everybody, here to our first intermission report of the 2024 NHL Winter Classic Live right here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. And after 20 minutes of play, thanks to Eeli Tolvanen's 10th goal of the year and 100th career point, the hometown Seattle Kraken have the 1-0 lead after 20 minutes of play. When you look at the stats overall, they're pretty fairly even, although I would argue to say that in terms of chances, Seattle was the better team. Vegas had a couple of good opportunities, including Jack Eichel all alone in front and looking to score, but Joey Decord so far has been on his game. Logan Thompson, despite that goal, which, to be fair, was deflected, and sometimes there's only so much you can do. Nonetheless, Seattle, Logan Thompson has been good as well. But again, it's such a nice goal. They just showed it again here on the replay. Just a beautiful goal. Vince Dunn takes the shot. It's going to Logan Thompson's left, but a great deflection by Tolvanen, deflects it all the way to the right side, and just great goal. Great goal. Let me catch up on some comments here that I think I've missed. Danelle says, now the only three teams in the NHL that have yet to play in an outdoor game are the Columbus Blue Jackets, Arizona Coyotes, and Florida Panthers. I would like to see them get to that point. And I think over the next 2 or 3 years, you're going to see that. I don't know if necessarily any of these would be winter classics, although maybe Florida might be. That's probably the way I would look at it, but I do think at some point all of these teams need to be playing in an outdoor game. For Columbus, maybe you're playing like the Carolina Hurricanes, Arizona Coyotes, maybe like the LA Kings, or maybe even the Vegas Golden Knights. Battle of the Desert, be kind of fun. Florida Panthers, would love to see them play Tampa Bay. Battle of Florida, I think would be good. Connor was saying, so far Steve Dangle's meltdown after that game against Buffalo. It's mostly video on his channel. That doesn't surprise me at all. Sabres suck, Connor, because they lost the Blue Jackets 9-4 before Christmas, and then in overtime. Yeah, it's pretty tough. Connor was saying, Vegas really having a rut these past few games. I thought they'd push forward with the depth at their disposal, but they're starting to slip down the table a little bit. I think that's a really good thing to talk about, and I'll talk about it in just a second. I think Vegas is still going to obviously continue to be one of the favorites to win the cup and win back-to-back, but it's so hard to repeat it because remember, you start the season in October and you play, if you win the cup, you play all the way into June. So you're playing 8 months of physical hockey, and you're really just kind of, you're really, really making it a struggle. And so when you go into the next season, then you got to do it all over again. And it's such a long dragged out thing. And so you got to be in the position of saying, well, are you going to be able to have the depth to do what you need to do? And I think in this situation right now, Vegas, just like every team, is going through a little bit of struggle. And it continues here in this Winter Classic with them being down 1-0. But as I said for Seattle, and the same thing can be said here for Vegas as well, that any moment is the opportunity to turn things around. And there's still 2 periods left to go, so you never know what can happen moving forward. I don't see this game ending 1-0. I would be surprised if that was the case, but we'll see. Let's see here. Oh, my good buddy Andrew H. is in the chat, as he always is. Real deal, Neil. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well, Andrew. Thank you, as always, for hanging out with us. I'm sure you've already done it before, but make sure to leave a like on the video and also subscribe if for some reason you're not. I know you already are, but again, make sure to leave a like. At least helps out the channel tremendously. Now went to Vegas on summer vacation with his family in 2002. Very, very cool. So, yeah, we are now into the year 2022. And what's always great, at least for me, what's always great about these, the first day of the year is that for a lot of us, you feel a sense of renewal. You kind of start from scratch, whatever you want to do. And what, you make plans and you go from there, and you just kind of feel like, okay, it's a fresh start. Whatever it is, it's a fresh start, and that's the way I look. I know for myself, there's things that I want to do that today, even after I'm done here with this game, I'll have an opportunity to really kind of do and settle in and you really just kind of, make this year my year You could put everything that you did in the past. That year is over. Now you're into 2024, and it's in really some ways it's a very exciting time for sure. I do also want to mention, if you are just a general sports fan, not just hockey. I mean, I am obviously hockey's number one for me, but I also am a big fan of all the sports. We have two of the biggest college football games going on later on today. One of them will be in less than an hour from now, and the other will be at 8:45. And I'm talking about the college football playoff. And so we have number 1 Michigan taking on number 4 Alabama in this year's Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all, my personal favorite all-time college football bowl game. Those teams will be playing starting at 5 p.m. Eastern, so less than an hour from now. I would probably say an hour from now, they will have at least kicked off. That one. And then at 8:45 p.m. Eastern, you have number 2 Washington taking on number 3 Texas in the Sugar Bowl. And so the winners of those games will play 1 week from today in the College Football Playoff National Championship, which I believe will be played at the Houston Texans Stadium in Houston. So that should be good. And again, if you want to put some money down, you still have time before those games kick off. Make sure to go to DraftKings Sportsbook and sign up with our promo code THPN. And you could get some extra bets and some extra money to place some bets. You get a bunch of money for no risk at all, which is absolutely phenomenal. And again, as always, shout out to DraftKings Sportsbook for being the official sports betting partner of the Hockey Podcast Network. So we have about maybe like 10 minutes before we get underway in the second period of the Winter Classic. But while we have some time here, and right before I go to commercial break, before we get underway in the second period, give me some questions. I'd like to do a little Q&A with you guys. We got 21 people in the chat right now. Plenty of people to ask some questions here. And especially I would like to keep it more towards, hockey and things like that. Want to interact with you guys a lot. So make sure you guys have some questions in the chat. And also, I just want to mention, you have until the beginning of the third period to still put down your score predictions. As mentioned before, we currently have 4 predictions in the chat, including mine. Connor Cahill has Vegas winning 4-3. Liam Wolf, I'll actually bring it up really quickly. Connor's going with Vegas to win 4-3. You have Liam Wolf going with the Kraken to win 7-5. So these teams got to pick it up if Liam's going to be right. You have Gaza with a 5-4 win for Vegas. And then you have myself. I went with a 4-2 Seattle win. So again, make sure to leave your score predictions in the chat, and we'll see who ends up being right or who ends up being the closest. We have still, at least when I've done predictions, as my good buddy Andrew H. putting a 3-2 Vegas prediction in the chat. We have never had somebody, when I've done games, get it exactly correct. Not just the score, but the team that wins. We've had times where you got the score right, but the wrong team. And a lot of times you get the wrong score, but you get the right team. So let's see if anybody gets it exactly right. Make sure you put your predictions, as Andrew just did and several others did, in the chat as well. And again, as mentioned before, if you have any Q&A questions, and you can also ask them during the game as well, and I will get to them, I certainly promise, as well. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to do that and step aside for another quick moment for another quick commercial break. So again, guys, we are approaching the end of our first intermission report of this year's NHL Winter Classic. Again, if you are just tuning in, it is 1-0 Seattle, thanks to a Eeli Tolvanen goal, which was a special one for him because obviously it got him to double-digit goals on the year. It's 10th of the year, but more importantly, and more special for him, that goal got him his 100th career point. So there you go. Current DraftKings odds to win the Pacific Division, Vegas currently at a plus 210, while Seattle is at a plus 5,000. So, again, it is, you can place your bets right now. New customers bet $5 to get $150. No sweat. Same game parlay every day this week. And when you sign up, use our promo code THPN as well. I think we got maybe a couple of comments here. Gaza asking, which hockey arena are on your bucket list to visit worldwide? So not NHL specifically, but worldwide. Very, very good question. I will say, Gaza, I will be able to cross one off my bucket list in a couple of weeks because I'll be traveling over to Columbus to go to a New Jersey Devils versus Columbus Blue Jackets game with my little cousin for his first hockey game. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking very much forward to go into that for sure. In terms of other places, so really good question. I do want to check out Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle because that area is where like the Seattle Supersonics used to play. It's a very, very cool state-of-the-art stadium. I've been to Madison Square Garden. I was there last year for a playoff game. Let me think. I'm trying to think of throughout even worldwide. I would love to check out the arenas in Russia, because they look phenomenal. They really look built up very well, especially in the KHL. Would certainly love to go check it out. Just hockey in Europe in general and that experience, I think would be absolutely cool. Very, very cool. Let's think here. I've been to the Staples Center in LA, even though it's not the Staples Center anymore. But I was there for a basketball game. I really would like to check out I want to check out Montreal. I've been to Toronto, so I had to check that out as well. I want to check out all the ones in Canada. But I think for me, Climate Pledge Arena is probably number one on that list. I just want to check out Seattle in general. I think it's a really, really interesting place, so I want to check it out. Little Caesars Arena, I've heard a lot of good things about in Detroit. So, yeah, just a couple of different options there. Worldwide, though, that makes it harder, doesn't it? It really does. But again, as I mentioned before, make sure to also leave your score predictions in the chat. You have until the beginning of the third period to put your score predictions there. So again, we have 5, including myself right now. My good buddy Andrew just put one in. But if you haven't already, make sure to put one in the chat as well. And again, I'll give you a shout out when you put it in the chat, and you'll get another shout out if you get it right or if you're close enough. Gaza saying that Supersonics jerseys are iconic. They certainly are. And I know that they are very much pushing, Seattle's very much pushing to get themselves the Supersonics back in the NBA, which I think would be very, very cool. Definitely LCA, Little Caesars Arena Detroit is another option for me. Looks amazing inside. It really does. Looks like it's they pull out all the stops. It's very, very cool. So we are about 2 minutes away, or 2 or 3 minutes away from really the start of the second period. Really looking forward to seeing what type of response Vegas has. They had a couple chances at the end there, but could not score. But I'm really curious to see what they could do here to finally get one past Joey Decord and try to tie this one up. And if you're Seattle, just continue to try to keep the momentum that you have so far, build off that crowd. And they can get up by 2, man. They can really, really put the pressure on Vegas. So we shall see. But we'll step aside for another moment to get you guys ready for the second period. And here we go, guys, as we are now underway in the second period of this year's NHL Winter Classic. Again, Eeli Tolvanen with the only goal so far, his 10th of the year. Shots currently 10 apiece for both teams. In NHL regular season outdoor games, the team that scores first has a record of 21, 12, and 5. So obviously that's good news if you're the Kraken, but also there have been plenty of times where it didn't matter. As I just said, it's now Tanev wraps it around the boards, gets it now, try to get it top of the point, but it's intercepted by Barbashev. Now Mark Stone tries to get around a defender, but Vince Dunn almost took it away. Pietrangelo tries to drop it, but it's intercepted, and now the Kraken come the other way. Wenberg kind of by himself will take a wrist shot, and that's easily gloved and covered by Logan Thompson. Golden Knights are 5-3-3 this season when trailing after the first period. So a decent amount of success, but nonetheless, they would like to get themselves to that sixth win here in this Winter Classic. Gaz is saying that Little Caesars Pizza only landed in England last year. You know what's interesting is that I tried Little Caesars like once a couple of months ago, and I actually, out of all the fast food pizzas like out there in like chains, it was probably the best of the ones that I've had. It's just like really weird to say. I like homemade old school like type pizzas, so like I'm not a big fan of like, I don't really like different things like Domino's and Pizza Hut and all that stuff, Papa John's, not a big fan. Seattle, by the way, 8-4-1 when they score first. As that shot there is blocked away by Decord. So first shot of the second period for the Golden Knights. We're just about 90 seconds into this period. Puck goes back into the Seattle zone here. So now I'll look to start it up again. As Alexiak backhands it up the boards, and it'll go all the way back down into the Vegas zone. No icing as Thompson will play it back to White Cloud. White Cloud bouncing around the boards. Both teams kind of whacking at it here. As now Tolvanen intercepts it for Seattle. Now an opportunity here for a shot there, and that one I think might have hit the post. Yanni Gourde can't believe it. Great opportunity there for Gourde, who has been all over the ice since this one started, has gotten really in the face of Logan Thompson several times, been somewhat of a pest, and he was almost able to double the lead right there for the Kraken. But the one thing I've noticed as well is that there's a lot of really good physical play between these two teams. And NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman even kind of said that when it's not terribly cold, the physical play feels very normal to what you would see in a regular NHL game. It would be a lot different. It was a lot more freezing. Hits right now are 12-6 in favor of Seattle. They've certainly come out and used that to their advantage and have certainly disrupted this very talented Golden Knights team. As now Yanni Gourde, again, with the puck, dumps it out to center ice and deflects off two sticks and goes to the left corner back in the Vegas zone with just over 2 minutes into the second period. Now puck now gets to Alexiak off the board, and then Tolvanen throws a shot, and that one is kicked away by Gourde. Rebound try, and they score! And the Kraken have doubled the lead. It's their defenseman, Borgen. I don't know how he was able to get that past Thompson. It looked like it was just a harmless shot, but a rebound shot and a goal nonetheless. And the Kraken have doubled the lead. It's now 2-0. So you look at it again, Borgen takes that slapper, it goes through the left arm of Logan Thompson and in, and Borgen gives the Kraken now the 2-0 lead here in this one. Again, another early goal for the Kraken. So they have now gotten 2 past Logan Thompson, and they have continued to be the better team so far. But now Vegas probably going to be a little bit more desperate here as they got to find a way to get a goal here and get back in this one. And I believe Tolvanen, he took the shot that created the rebound opportunity. So Tolvanen is going to get himself his second point of the game, his first assist. So Eeli Tolvanen continues to put in the work here in this Winter Classic. As now the Kraken come the other way here, just about 3 minutes into this second period. Burakovsky fighting along there with Paric. As that puck now goes into the right corner where Burakovsky has it. Burakovsky still with it now. He takes a shot that gets blocked, and the Kraken try to get it top of the point, but it goes all the way back into the Seattle zone. Guys asking, what am I drinking today? Well, I just had a cup of coffee because I'm still kind of recovering a little bit from yesterday's festivities. It's now an opportunity for Seattle again, and that one is fought out by Thompson. Almost beat him there, and now we get a whistle here because I believe the net may have come off its moorings a little bit. But again, Borgen, number 3 for Seattle with the most recent goal, a slapper that gets through the arm and powers its way past Thompson and in, and that gives the Kraken now the 2-0 lead here in this year's NHL Winter Classic. But yeah, as they just showed again, Alexiak tried to go to the backhand, but a good left leg pad save by Thompson there. Otherwise, it would have been an easy third goal for the Kraken for sure. So yeah, I just had some coffee, and I also just have some water today. So just trying to stay as hydrated as possible here, and that's one of my goals for 2024, to be as hydrated as possible. Barbashev now, he'll dump it into the right corner in the Seattle zone here, where Alexiak will chip it up to Borgen. Borgen now, player gets knocked down. It's Tanev got knocked down, no penalty. Pretty solid hit. So now Barbashev will get the puck, and he'll dump it now into the left corner in the Seattle zone here. Just 4 minutes into this second period, Borgen gets knocked down, almost looked like a trip. Puck comes out in front, but nobody's there. And now Tanev looks to try to get there first for Seattle in the Vegas zone, and he does. He backhands it over to his teammate. Opportunity here around the boards. Gets it now top of the point to Adam Larsson. Left side now to Dunn. Dunn feeds it over to Beniers. He takes a shot, but he fanned on it. And now William Carrier comes the other way for Vegas. Carrier dumps it into the left corner where Stevenson will get there first. Marchessault gets it top of the point now to McNabb. Over now. Shot there from Vegas, goes wide of the net. And now Larsson will slow it up. Will Borgen gets his first goal of the year. And it couldn't come at a better time. Now a feed in front there to Tatar, and nobody was there. Carterley and Tolvanen get assists on that one for Seattle. So again, Tolvanen with the first goal, and he gets the primary assist on the second one. So right now, he's in really good position to be the game's first star. Speaking of Tolvanen, he intercepts it here, tries to make a saucer Pete. Now Eberle with a shot. That one is stopped, and the rebound try gets snuffed out. Oh, there were two Kraken players all alone there, but they couldn't get it past Thompson. Toe drag shot by 43. Cutter is stopped and covered by Decord. So that was a great chance again off the forecheck from Seattle, as Tolvanen with a saucer feed that was knocked down by Thompson. The puck came to Eberle. He was able to get his shot off. A really good point-blank chance, really. And then you also had Matty Beniers right there, and I think Eberle just wanted to see if he could surprise him with trying to get it past his glove. But a good save there by Thompson, who's doing everything he can right now to keep the Golden Knights in this one. But I'm sure for Logan Thompson, as that puck deflects up into the Vegas bench, I'm sure he wants that second goal back. There was no screen in front on that second one, and it just powered through his arm and in. And again, you show Eberle here. He was trying to figure it out, tried to lift it, and Matty Beniers, if he had gotten there a millisecond later, he would have had a wide open net to get himself a goal. For a guy who only has 18 points so far this season, he needed that one badly. But again, 2-0 now. Next, the most recent goal by Borgen, his first goal of the year. And again, couldn't come at a better time than in this special event here of the NHL Winter Classic. As now Schultz gets it over to Dumoulin. Dumoulin off the boards. And now here comes Seattle again as Tolvanen feeds it over now to Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand takes a shot, but he fanned on it. And William Karlsson comes the other way as he dumps off to Cutter. And Cutter will now dump it into the right corner of the Seattle zone. Both teams whacking at it. Now an opportunity here. Gets it over just out of his reach. Seattle may have a break here if they hurry. Bjorkstrand trying to get it over to Gord. And Gord had to come back to avoid being offsides. What is going on, Angus? Happy New Year, my friend. Thank you, as always, for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it as always, and we thank you on this very special Winter Classic edition. As now Vegas with a try that goes wide of the net, and that puck comes all the way down. Might be a chance here for Seattle if they get to it first, and they will, as the Yamamoto backhands it around the boards. As now Burakovsky tries to keep it in, but it's taken away for a moment there by Vegas, and Vince Dunn will just slap it back into the Vegas zone. But again, thank you, Angus. Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you so much. Don't forget to leave a like on this stream as a high-rising shot there from Seattle goes wide of Thompson. Again, the forecheck of Seattle has really been a problem for Vegas. They haven't been able to avoid giving up some great opportunities. And really both goals, if you look at it, both goals came off of Seattle doing a good job of just keeping the puck in and being relentless. As now McNabb fakes the slap shot. Now he'll take a slap shot. That's deflected just wide of the cord. It's now Barbashev almost was able to keep it in. Now Vince Dunn intercepts it. He almost got around Stone. Intercepted here. Opportunity for Vegas. Eichel feeds it over. Shot by Barbashev, and he missed the net. Maybe the cord got a piece, but nonetheless couldn't get it past the netminder. And so we remain 2-0 here with 12 and a half minutes to go in the second period. This will go down as an icing here against the Kraken with 12:25 and ticking to go in this second period. 2-0 Seattle, thanks to the most recent goal from Matt Borgen. But Vegas has had a couple of chances like they just had where they had a point-blank opportunity and just couldn't even hit the net. So we see again Eichel with a nice saucer feed over to Barbashev, and Barbashev just hit the side of the net. So he got it on net technically, but not in the net. As Pietrangelo lost the puck there. Puck now on the right corner. Stevenson feeds it in front with a shot. That one got to Decor, but he was able to make the save nonetheless. As he makes now his 14th save of the contest. As now Vince Dunn picks a long feed to the right side. Nice pass over now to Tanev. Tanev, he'll just backhand it in. Goes to the right corner now. McCann now chips it over to Matty Beniers. Beniers gets it top of the point now. Gets it now over to Borgen. Borgen takes a wrist shot, and that one goes into the red basket, and we get a stoppage in play with 11:54 to go in this second period. That save man, Matt Borgen, earlier in this period, early in the second period, got a blast past Thompson and in for his first goal of the year, and that doubles the lead right now for the Kraken as they're up 2-0 here in this year's Winter Classic. So we welcome you back here. Matt Borgen earlier in this period doubled the lead for the Kraken. That made it 2-0. So that's where we stand right now. And again, it feels like since the opening puck drop that the Kraken have been the better team. They've played very well. They have certainly frustrated Vegas. And I think right now, if you're Vegas, you cannot afford to go down 3. You have to find a way to get the next goal here and give yourself an opportunity to get back in this one. Because right now, Seattle is just doing whatever they want in this one. There's now an opportunity for Seattle. Backhand try by Eberle is fought off by the glove of Logan Thompson. Should also mention Logan Thompson is one of the few goaltenders whose glove is on his right hand. So sometimes that can be a little tricky for teams, for any team to kind of see it a little differently. But nonetheless, hasn't really affected Seattle as they're up 2-0. As Adam Larsson gets it over now to Beniers, who tried to feed it in front, but he fanned on it. He was looking for Tomas Tatar there. But now Eberle keeps it in, gets over to Beniers behind the net. Beniers stops, still with it now, waits. Now gets to top of the point, and a drive by Larsson goes wide of the net. Now another opportunity here is again some good forechecking and pressure from Seattle in the offensive zone. Now a shot there from Schultz goes wide of the net. Now Tatar, still with the puck. Back, forehands it around the boards. Beniers gets to it. Matty Beniers holds it, feeds it in front to Tatar, and that one is stopped and covered by Thompson. As Tomas Tatar looking for a goal there. A couple of nationally televised games coming up tomorrow. 7:30 p.m. Capitals at Penguins on ESPN Plus. That same day, also on ESPN Plus, 10:30 p.m. Leafs at Kings. And then the Devils will take on the Washington Capitals at 7:30 on Wednesday on TNT. So that'll be a big one. It's a drive there from Schultz. Just goes wide of Thompson. And here come the Kraken. The Golden Knights the other way. Now 22 comes in, tries to tuck it in, but he couldn't get it past the cord. But now here comes Seattle the other way, looking to try to get around, and they'll just dump it in. MCS and LS says, who scored the second goal? Second goal, again, was scored earlier in this period by Will Borgen. I've been saying Matt, I do apologize. Will Borgen, the defenseman for the Seattle Kraken, his first of the year, number 3 on the Kraken, as he has the only goal so far of this second period. And the second one for the Kraken is now an opportunity for Pietrangelo. Gets over Alec Martinez. Waits. Shot. That one gets blocked. Puck comes out in front. And Joey Decord will calmly cover it. And we're going to face off here with 10:04 to go in this second period. Still 2-0 Seattle. Again, it's Will Borgen with it. As Pietrangelo, nice feed to Martinez. He tried to get it, but a good block there by the right butt cheek of Eli Tolvanen, who again has been a major factor in this one. He scored the game's first goal back in the first period and got the primary assist on the second one. So he is having himself a heck of a Winter Classic. But again, if you're Vegas, you got to find a way, again, to get the next goal. You cannot afford to go down 3. I know that in the NHL, no lead is safe, but at the same time, in these unique circumstances, sometimes a deficit like that could be really, really difficult to get back into. As Borgen will just slap it back into the Vegas zone here. We've just reached the halfway point of this Winter Classic right now. As now Martinez makes it off the stick, or actually intercepted by Borgen, who takes a shot, but I believe he was called for offsides here with 9:41 to go in the second period. So Andrew is now the third different person to ask me, what do I think of the Winter Classic jerseys? And I'll start again with the Vegas Golden Knights. I think that they're a very solid one. Not the biggest fan of the logo itself, but I think the design as a whole is pretty good. And so I think with all of that, I think there's maybe a little bit more to be desired. I will give it a 7 out of 10. And as far as the Kraken, they are a 10 out of 10 for me. I absolutely love the color scheme, the design as a whole. It's honoring the Seattle Metropolitans. I think it's great. And again, for both these teams, in their first, Vegas has been in an outdoor game before, but especially for Seattle, it's just their third year to do something like that. I think is really, really cool. And I'm loving that they are honoring the first ever professional hockey team in Seattle, who also was the first American team to win the Stanley Cup as well, the Seattle Metropolitans. ED209, what's going on, my friend? Thank you so much for leaving a comment. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to leave a like on the stream if you like what you've seen. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. Really does help out the channel. He says, Knights can't be this sorry. Well, unfortunately, so far, they're looking pretty sorry with the way that they played. They've had some good opportunities, don't get me wrong, but Joey DeCortis has certainly stood on his head. But I would say a lot of the pressure and the physicality, I would say almost every category has been leaning completely towards Seattle. They've just been overall the better team. They've been outworking Vegas. They've blocked a lot of shots, really frustrating the Golden Knights, and they've earned this 2-0 lead. But they got to keep it going here because there's still a lot of hockey left to play. And as I always say, hockey is a magical, unpredictable sport. You never know what can happen. Jonathan Marchessault's got to be one of those guys. Vegas Golden Knights got to be looking to try to get some help here as the reigning Conn Smythe Trophy winner currently has 8 goals and 7 assists in his last 13 games. So he's played very, very well of late, and they need him and a lot of these other top guys to really kind of get going here. Gaz is asking, what country, in my opinion, is underrated when it comes to producing NHL players? I would honestly say it's got to be Slovakia, personally, because if you look at some of the talent, you got Slavkovsky, you got Simon Nemec, you look at the success that they've had in last year's World Juniors and how well they played during the preliminary round of this year's World Juniors. They're starting to get more and more and more players into the NHL. And so I think that they're a country on the rise. I think another country that's really been producing, and you look at some of the talent that's come out of there, is Switzerland. You got Roman Josi, Kevin Fiala, Timo Meyer, Nico Hischier, Nino Niederreiter. You got a boatload. And I feel like countries like Switzerland and Slovakia don't get recognized as much for a lot of the really good talent that they've been able to produce over the last 5 to 10 years. So I would say probably Slovakia and Switzerland are the two most underrated countries. As Jack Eichel with a shot that gets fought off by DeCord. Thank you so much to my wonderful mother for leaving a comment. As always, really do appreciate it. I'm sure you already did, but please leave a like as well. It says Happy New Year, broadcaster extraordinaire. Thank you for the compliment as always. And again, Happy New Year to everybody as we begin the year 2024. Puck in the Seattle zone right now as Vegas trying to get to it, but Adam Larsson will get to it for Seattle, and he'll dump it out as he almost was able to get Yamamoto going there. Puck now at center ice, and here come the Kraken. They have some numbers here. Burakovsky waits, takes a wrist shot that gets blocked. Puck comes in right out in front of Thompson, but he'll just sweep it away. Alec Martinez up the boards now to Kolasar. And now Waugh tries to get around, and he'll be the first to get to that puck behind the net. Puck goes down to the left corner with 8 minutes to go in this second period. Right now, 2-0 Seattle as that shot goes wide of DeCord. But now Vegas with some pressure here atop of the point to McNabb. Waits, gets it now over to 94. He tries to feed it over across the crease, but it got blocked. And then Adam Larsson will pick it up for Seattle, and he'll high flip it out of the zone. Now puck comes back into Seattle zone. Current money line right now, courtesy of DraftKings Sportsbook. Seattle is currently at a minus 500. Vegas is at a plus 340. And again, shout out to DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the Hockey Podcast Network. Use promo code THPN to get $200 in bonus bets when you sign up for DraftKings. Again, promo code when you sign up, THPN. Now here comes Jordan Eberle into the offensive zone. Try to get it top of the point, broken up by Chandler Stevenson. Now Vegas gets to it. And now Seattle recovers. Dumoulin backhands it over to Schultz. And Schultz will calmly dump it out. Here comes Seattle again. Tatar. He'll flip it into the right corner. Matty Beniers backhands it around and gets it over to the left side. As now Beniers tries to get to it, but it's intercepted by Nick Hague. And not a cutter. But then Seattle keeps it in again. 6:45 and ticking to go in the second period. As now here comes Chandler Stevenson. Stevenson dumps it into the left side. As now Seattle will intercept it. Here comes Beniers up the center of the ice. He goes in, still on the left side now, looking, gets around Hague, falls down, and the net actually came off its moorings behind Thompson. The ref says play on here. We don't have a stoppage of play because he can go get to it. And now Joey DeCord plays it to the right side for Seattle. Bjorkstrand now gets to it. Bjorkstrand keeping it in for Seattle. Bjorkstrand stops. Backhands it around. And again, the net is still dislodged behind Thompson. And finally, the ref blows the whistle here with 6:10 to go in the second period. I'm not sure why it took so long for the ref to decide that. I guess he was hoping that maybe they could fix the net before it came back in. Shots currently 18-15 in favor of Seattle. So again, the shots on goal, for the most part, has been pretty even. But as I've said before, shots on goal really doesn't tell you the story. What tells you is the chances and the opportunities and really the overall pressure. And for me, it's certainly been way more Seattle. And as a result, they currently have that 2-0 lead. There's now an opportunity as Vince done with a drive, and that one gets deflected wide of Thompson. Seattle keeping it in. They almost were able to keep it in, and now Larson will have to go back and get it. So now Joey Decord will play it around the boards. Seattle chips it out. Vegas gets to it again. Feeds it over now to Cutter. He's now 43 with the puck. 43 around the net, still with it, using his body to protect the puck. Still with it, gets around again and lose the puck, but regains it. Gets it now over to Martinez with a shot. That one is stopped. Rebound is covered before there is one. It's another good save from Joey Decord, his 16th of the game. Alec Martinez dropping some interesting words that I can't repeat. After that one, 5:32 to go in this second period. Both teams with the chances, but it's still been all Seattle up until this point. They currently lead it 2-0. So it's currently 2-0 here late in the second period of this year's Winter Classic. Kraken got their second goal way back early, about 2-3 minutes into this period, thanks to Will Borgen again. His first goal of the entire season. And that is a pretty special way to get your first goal, no question about it. So now, again, we'll see if the Golden Knights can find a way to get one back here before we go into the second intermission, because right now they've continued to have some chances, but for the most part, they've been dominated by Seattle as Tanev falls down. Ref says play on. We still have yet to have a penalty in this game. It's been a relatively clean game between these two teams, which is quite impressive. And to be fair, watching this game and obviously doing this live watch along, haven't really seen anything that you could say, yeah, it's definitely a penalty. So very impressive by both teams up until this point. Martinez now to Pietrangelo. Pietrangelo now to Barbashev. Barbashev feeds it over to Martinez. Gets it over there. That deflected pass by Stone goes wide. And again, Stone looking up to the heavens saying, what do we have to do to get one past the cord? Couldn't get it there with 4.5 minutes and ticking to go in the second period. Martinez flips it over to Stone. Mark Stone, the captain, gets the puck knocked off him. Goes to the left corner of the Seattle zone. So now Beniers chips it up the board to Burakovsky, and almost a turnover right in the slot there. Would have been disastrous for Seattle. As now Larson chips it now over to Alexiak. Alexiak now up to Jordan Eberle, and Eberle will flip it now into the left corner of the Vegas zone. And now Tatar. He chips over to Eberle. Feeds it front there to Beniers, and he shot it wide. Oh, my goodness, he had it. Matty Beniers, great feed from Eberle there, but the left-handed shooter shot it wide of Thompson. Would have had a great chance to triple the lead. As now Tatar falls down. I think he tripped on the net. As again, the net dislodges. That's the third time that net where Thompson has dislodged. Mark Stone definitely kicking himself. Great deflection there, but it actually hit the shoulder, the right arm, of the corner, hit off the post. So that for sure has been the closest up until this point that Vegas has had to scoring, other than Jack Eichel all alone getting shut down by Joey Daccord, who has been one of the big storylines of this one. Shots currently 19-16 in favor of the Kraken with 3:46 remaining in this second period. So Adam Larsson will dump it into the Vegas zone. Zach Whitecloud gets there first, chips it now over to Brady McNabb. And then that one-handed out of the zone. Vince Dunn gets it right back, and he'll dump it back in where McNabb will control it for Vegas. Now chips it up to Chandler Stevenson. Stevenson up the left side. Puck now goes to the left side, and we are finally going to get a penalty here. It's going to be a holding call or an interference call against the Kraken. So as soon as I comment both teams are keeping it a clean game, we finally get our first penalty. It's Adam Larsson going to the sin bin for Seattle. So this is a big moment for the Golden Knights to maybe potentially get back in this one. Stevenson tried to get around Larsson, and he was certainly being held there. So, it took until near the end of the second period to finally get our first penalty. God says, your prediction for who will be hosting next year's Winter Classic and their opponent, Neil, ? My prediction? It's tough, man. I'm going to go with, for some reason, I feel like they're going to want to do I don't know. I feel like they're going to want, this is tough. I think now that you got a lot of hype around the Blackhawks again with Connor Bedard, and I know the Blackhawks have been in so many of these outdoor games, I think it's going to be the Blackhawks against somebody. I just don't know who. I think it's going to be Blackhawks Dallas. That's my guess. Probably really bad one, but maybe I could be wrong. Maybe they'll do Chicago and St. Louis again. I don't know. That's going to be my prediction. I'm going to go with Chicago against Dallas. And it's going to be at Comerica Park, the home of the Chicago White Sox. That's going to be my guess. Vegas Golden Knights, 12th best power play in the NHL, while the Kraken have the 17th best penalty kill. So we got a minute 11 to go on it currently. Seattle has already dumped the puck out of their zone twice. Now Marchessault looking to set it up here for Vegas in the left corner. Both teams whacking at it. Both teams got numbers. Now an opportunity here. Pietrangelo now takes a shot, and that one might have gotten a piece of Daccord. 54 seconds to go on the Vegas power play. As that shot just goes wide of the net. Seattle trying to chip it out, and they're able to do so here as the puck will go back into the Vegas zone. 2 minutes to go in the second period. 40 seconds to go in the Vegas man advantage here. Currently Vegas down 2-0 here in this Winter Classic to the Kraken. Now Alexiak tries to get there first, taken away now by Stevenson. Dumoulin fighting along with Stevenson, and then he chips it over to Alexiak, but he can't get it out. But now it's actually deflected off of Tanev, sticking out of play with 1:44 to go in the period and 24 seconds to go on the Larsson 2-minute holding penalty, or interference penalty, excuse me. So again, even on this power play, just not a lot going for Vegas. I'm sure that they are incredibly discouraged, but they got to find a way. They got to push through it and find a way to get one. Even if they're down 2-0 going into the third, it's not obviously over by any means. But if you could find a way in the next 104 seconds to get a goal, you could completely change the momentum in your favor. As that puck is dumped back into the Vegas zone. And now here comes Vegas with maybe one last chance here on this power play. Barbashev gets over Stevenson, now to Whitecloud. Zach Whitecloud stops, try to get a top of the point, almost a chance for Seattle going the other way. Power play is up for Vegas, so I think they got maybe one shot, maybe one or two, but not much, as Seattle gets a big kill here on that one. Minute 10 and ticking to go in the second period. Vegas in the offensive zone. Barbashev now to Waugh. Watt gets it top of the point now to Whitecloud. Now a drive from Martinez, and that's deflected high and wide in the net with 1 minute to go in the period here. As Stevenson avoids the hit from Borgen. Stevenson tried to feed it in front there, almost taken away. Then it's taken away. Here comes Seattle. Might have a step here as McCann lost the puck. So he was looking to try to get a shot there. Whitecloud settles it. 40 seconds to go in the period. Chipped into the Vegas zone. But now an opportunity. Got a step for Eberle. He comes in. High rising shot that gets fought off by Thompson. Eberle now top of the point to Beniers. Beniers will try to get it right back into the puck is in the left corner. Beniers will try to get it to the tar, but it's broken up. 20 seconds to go in the period. As now McNabb gets it over now to 22. 22 will dump it over now to Carrier with a shot that gets blocked. 10 seconds to go in the period. 22 feeds it over. Shot. That one is stopped by DeCord. Follow-up try is also stopped by DeCord. Dunn gets the puck. He tries to flip it out. He can't. 1 second left and the horn will sound. So Vegas right at the end there trying to get a late one. But again, Joey DeCord shutting the door as he has now stopped all 20 shots that he has faced through 40. And thanks to a goal way back at the early stages of the second period from Will Borgen, his his first goal of the year, gives Seattle now a 2-0 advantage through now 40 minutes of play. So again, guys, let me know what you think so far here through 40 minutes. This has been a good one. Seattle has been, for the most part, in control. They've gotten goals from a lot of their depth players, both on offense and their defensemen. And Joey DeCord holding it down. Logan Thompson doing everything he can to keep this one close to give Vegas a chance. And now we'll see what type of adjustments that Bruce Cassidy and his team will make. And this, I think we're in for a pretty good and exciting finish to this year's Winter Classic. But before we continue on here into our second intermission report, we're going to take another quick break and get another word from our sponsors. And welcome everybody here to our second intermission report of this NHL Winter Classic. And after now 40 minutes of play, thanks to an early second period goal from Will Borgen, which again, his first goal of the year, gives the Kraken now a 2-0 lead after 2 periods of play. And again, Vegas has had some good opportunities, especially towards the end of both the first and second period, but Joey Daccord continuing to frustrate this Golden Knights squad while the Kraken are getting goal support from some of their unlikely players, and they continue to play this really hot brand of hockey. Again, they're on an 8-game point streak going into this game. They are 6-0-2 through that mark, so they are looking to try to get themselves to 7-0-2 in their last 9, as they are 20 minutes away from probably one of the most unique wins they're going to have all year long, playing in Seattle in this Winter Classic, their first ever outdoor game. It's a very, very, very special thing for sure. But yeah, again, let me know what you guys think so far of this game through 40 minutes. It's been a good one for sure. Gaza, this was to talk about my prediction for the Winter Classic. For next year. He says, my prediction would be Blue Jackets to host the game, and their opponent would be the Blackhawks. Stadium host the game would be Ohio Stadium. I feel like that it's not a bad guess. I could see that more likely being a Stadium Series game because they try to come up with very special situations. This is no disrespect to Columbus. I think they should absolutely get one. But I feel like they'll always want to go with traditional teams or unique teams like we're having this year between Seattle and Vegas. That's the way that I look at it personally. But again, I could be wrong for sure. Angus says, maybe there will be a Winter Classic at St. Petersburg, Florida Beach. It is under construction. It's possible, but I would like to see, because the Florida Panthers are one of 3 teams right now that have still yet to play in a outdoor game. I would love for their opponent to be the Tampa Bay Lightning, to have that Battle of Florida. It just makes sense, and if they can do it in a unique spot in Florida, I think that would be great as well. I don't know where they would do it. Maybe Raymond James Stadium, maybe where the Dolphins play. I don't know. On a beach, like you're mentioning, Angus, that would be pretty fun. As Angus says, an ice skating rink is being built on a beach. That would be something. That would require a lot more work than the normal. Even the normal, looking at the normal outdoor games in general. But yeah, no, this has been a good game so far. I think what's impressed me about Seattle is that they're clearly playing their system very, very well, and it's frustrating Vegas. And you're seeing 2 teams that at the start of the year, they were going in different directions, and now they're also kind of going in different directions even at that point. Because again, I mentioned it before we got underway in this one. If you look at Vegas up until this point, which again, they are currently tied, a 3-way tie for first place in the Western Conference with Colorado and Vancouver, they have been struggling. They were on a 4-game losing streak before winning their last game. So they've lost 4 of their last 5 and are in danger of making it losers of 5 of their last 6. And they're taking on a Seattle team who is only currently 3 points out of a playoff spot, could get to 1 if they win this game today. They have won each of their last 4 games, and as mentioned before, they are 6-0-2 during their 8-game point streak. So if they do win today, that pushes their winning streak to 5. So again, you look at what Dave Haxtell and that team has done. They are, I don't want to say they're peaking, but they're playing really good hockey at the right time, and I think that's the most important thing in this. Let's take a quick look again to kind of give you a little bit more detail. Let's take a look again at the scoring so far up until this point. So again, you got Tolvanen, who got the first goal just 4:50 into the first period. Vince Dunn and Adam Larson with assists. And then again, less than 3 minutes, almost less than 2.5 minutes into the second period, on a rebound slap shot blast from Will Borgen, He doubled the lead at 2. Cartier and Tolvanen with assists. So again, Eeli Tolvanen has been involved in each of the 2 goals. He's gotten the first goal and he got the primary assist on the second goal. So that is where we are. Shots 21-20 in favor of Seattle. Shots off goal, which is still fairly even, but it's 8-5 currently in favor of Vegas. But this has been good. Block shots. Seattle's doing a good job of blocking shots for sure. And you just look at everything that's been going on. It's just, again, and I know I kind of screwed it up when I said, this game is going really well because there hadn't been a penalty. And then literally like a minute later, there was like our first penalty. We've only had one. Adam Larson was sent off late in the second, 2 minutes for interference, but Vegas could not capitalize on it. So Seattle's still yet to go on the power play, and we'll see if that changes. I feel like at this point, if Seattle gets the next goal, even if it's like only a minute into the third period, I think that's going to be the death knell because the way this game is going, the way Joey Daccord has been in net for Seattle up until this point, I just think that right now it's just a big struggle. It's just been a big struggle, and it feels like right now the way that Vegas is playing almost feels like a 1-0 lead has been insurmountable. Now that you're down by 2, again, you're still right in this game, but you got to find a way to get an early goal here. Get your crowd into it, get your team more into this game, and really kind of put that pressure on Seattle to have to try to defend this lead here in a big game that they are playing at home. Anonym on YouTube. Thank you so much, man, for the comment. Do me a favor, by the way, leave a like on this stream if you haven't already. And also, don't forget to subscribe as well. Really, really does help out the channel. He says, do you guys think Vegas will still score? I have a pretty decent feeling that I do think that the Golden Knights are going to find a way to get one before the end of this game. Are they going to get more than one? It's tough to say because, again, Daccord has played so well through 40 minutes. Again, really frustrating the Golden Knights, who have had a couple of really good chances to score, especially at the end of that second period. A couple of rebound opportunities. Mark Stone had that deflected shot that hit off the right arm of Daccord and then hit the post. That right there, and then and as mentioned before, back in the first period, Jack Eichel intercepts the pass. He's all alone. He does a couple dekes, but Daccord just makes the save. I mean, if you think about if Vegas is able to score those 2 goals, it's a tie game, or who knows, maybe that would have flipped everything, and maybe Vegas is winning this game. So to kind of again answer your question, I do think at some point Vegas finds a way to score. I don't think, and I'm actually going to double check this myself. I don't think we've had a shutout in the Winter Classic. I want to double check that really quickly. I'm actually going to bring it up on it here if I can get to it. We have not had a shutout in the Winter Classic up until this point. We've had several games where one team only scored 1 goal, but that's about it. So we have not had a shutout. So I would like to imagine that this is probably the closest at this point that any team in the Winter Classic has been has gotten close to being shut out. But again, you still got 20 minutes, and who knows? Maybe this game's going to have to need extra. DraftKings Sportsbook, who will win the Norris Trophy? Pietrangelo at a plus 7,500, while Vince Dunn is at a plus 5,000. And again, make sure to sign up at DraftKings Sportsbook and use our promo code THPN. You can also bet $5 to get $150 instantly in bonus bets with a no-sweat same-game parlay when you use our promo code THPN. You also will get $200 in bonus bets as well. So make sure you guys sign up with DraftKings Sportsbook and use our promo code THPN. Really do appreciate it. Donovan says, thanks, no problem. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I believe, if I'm seeing this correctly, we have a special guest joining us here from the Dusty Benders podcast, which covers the Seattle Kraken. I believe also live from the Winter Classic. I believe that we have our buddy Watson, who I'm sure the connection is a little off here. I'll take him out until the connection fixes itself. I think he's going to be okay. Granted, for these games, the connection sometimes can be not so great. So let's see if we can get him here at some point. That would be great. Let's see here. Can I get him now? It's like a little tough. So if we're able to get the connection, we will obviously bring him on to kind of give us, because I believe he is at the game. So he would give us like a really front row personal, experience of like what's going on and how the game's going from, this in their perspective. And again, make sure you go check out the Dusty Bender podcast here on THPN, which covers the Seattle Kraken. We have several Seattle Kraken podcasts, so make sure you guys go check them out for sure. But I think right now, I don't want to say like the next goal is going to show you who's going to win, but you definitely can see that if Seattle gets that, if they find a way to get yet another early goal, this time in the third period, go up 3-0, I think it's really going to put this one out of reach. And I think it's really going to solidify a win. So we'll see. We'll see about that. Also, mentioned before, sports fans, when if you want to bet on some other sports going on, we got the Rose Bowl in college football going on. It actually just kicked off just 7 seconds in between number 4 Alabama and number 1 Michigan. I believe Alabama got an interception, but I believe it was overturned. So instead of Michigan turning the ball over on its first play of the game, they actually end up with the ball back. But again, if you want to put some money down on that, make sure again to sign up with DraftKings Sportsbook and use our promo code THPN to get $200 in free bets instantly when you sign up. God says 1 shutout in the Stadium Series history. So we've only had 1 shutout overall in outdoor games. The first one on January 25th, back in January 25th of 2014, when the Anaheim Ducks shut out the Los Angeles Kings 3-0, thanks to Jonas Hiller, who, fun fact, on the Devil State of My podcast, he was one of the first guests that we ever had on the podcast a couple of years ago. So make sure you guys go check out that episode if you haven't already. It was a great one talking about Hiller's career in the NHL and also a lot of the fun stuff that he's got going on in his career now. So we got a lot going on here. You still have a couple of minutes, guys, by the way. You still have a couple of minutes to put down your prediction for the rest of this game. So make sure you do that. The second that the third period gets underway, I will not be accepting any more predictions, including mine. We have 5 predictions in the chat right now. We currently have 3 predicting a Vegas win and 2 predicting a Kraken win. And when I look at it, so far, there is only one person that is fairly close, but again, with all of these, there certainly needs to be some more goals, not just by Seattle, but also by Vegas as well. So that's where we're at right now, and I'm really curious to see how this one continues to transpire. Angus is going to drop in a late 3-2 win for Seattle, so he sees both teams getting on the board here, and Vegas getting right back in it. But Seattle's still holding on for this in this Winter Classic. So we currently now have 6 predictions. Let's see if we can get 4 more people. I'd like to see us get to 10 predictions before this third period gets underway. But thank you, Angus, as always, for your prediction, my friend. But I'm really, really curious to see how this goes. And I hope you guys are ready for this third period. So I'm going to step aside for a little bit to get you guys some more time to put in your score predictions, get myself ready for what should be a very exciting third period of this year's Winter Classic. So we are just about ready to get underway in the third period of this Winter Classic. Again, the Kraken go into the third period up 2-0 thanks to goals from Eli Tolvanen and Will Borgen. And Joey Decord so far through 40 minutes of play has stopped all 20 shots that he has seen from the Vegas Golden Knights. And so we are in for certainly a pretty exciting finish to this one. We have some other comments. Marie is in the chat. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. And make sure to leave a like on the video while you're here. As did it end? Nope. The third period, as I put in the chat right after, the third period is coming up literally in the next minute or so. They just came back from commercial break. We did actually get another score prediction from Armadon Deathbringer. Thank you so much. Make sure, again, all newcomers here, leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get notified every time we go live here on THPN. They are going with a 2-1 win for the Kraken. So they expect that Vegas will get the only goal of the third, but the Kraken are still going to come find a way. Zarbian says, hello, all. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's to you as well, Zarbian. And thank you for also coming on and hanging out with us. Thank you to everybody again, as always. And I know I sound like a broken record, but again, really would appreciate if you guys left a like on this video. Also subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified when we go live here for these type of games. We'll be doing more World Juniors coming up, starting tomorrow, and so many more All-Star games, Stanley Cup playoffs, all of that. We're going to be live for all of that here on THPN. So here we go, as both teams are at center ice. And this third period of the Winter Classic is now underway. Again, 2-0 Seattle. Here as we begin this one, as Joey Decord will just cover the puck. It's 9 seconds in to get a face-off in the Seattle zone. Did see one comment that I wanted to see before from Gaza. 2 shutouts in the Heritage Classic. 2011, the Flames beat the Habs 4-0. And in 2016, the Oilers shut out the Jets 3-0. And then the NHL 100 Classic held on December 16, 2017 at TD Place in Ottawa between the Senators and Habs. Had a shutout. Senators won 3-0. So in terms of all the outdoor games, in the most recent memory and everything, we've had about 4. But again, we have still yet to have one in the Winter Classic. That is the interesting thing here, as that shot goes wide. Follow-up try there on a rebound goes wide of Decord. So right now, Vegas, they are 2-6-2 when they are trailing after 2 periods. So they certainly want to try to get themselves a much-needed comeback win. As Vegas player, I think it's Barbashev, goes into the boards, no penalty. Ref says play on again. As now Pietrangelo holds it in, feeds over, drive by Martinez, and that's easily gloved and covered by Decord on the 21st save of the contest. But again, right now, I feel pretty certain that Vegas is the closest team in the history of the Winter Classic to be shut out, and we'll see if that ends up coming to fruition or not. So the face-off to the left of Decord in the Seattle zone here. Just 48 seconds into the third period. Alexiak backhands it. Eberle will chip it out of the zone. Puck comes out to center ice, where Marceau will control it for Vegas. Whitecloud gets it now over to William Carrier. Carrier tries to backhand it over to Marchessault. Kraken are 10-0-3 when leading after the second period. So they haven't even at this point lost the game in regulation when they've led after 3. So anytime that they've led after 2 periods of play, they've gotten at least a point, which is pretty good. That's a pretty good record. And again, on an 8-game point streak, the Kraken are going into this one 6-0-2. And they are also looking for their 5th win in a row here if they could get it done and move to 7-0-2 in their last 9. And Vegas is 1-4-0 in their last 5. So they almost came into this on a 5-game losing streak. So these are 2 teams going in different directions. Although, again, with how rough of a start it was for the Kraken this year, they still have a lot of ground to make up. Only 3 points out of a playoff spot, while Vegas is sitting comfortably in a 3-way tie for first place overall in the Western Conference. 18:05 to go in this third period. 2-0 Seattle. Shots currently tied at 21 apiece. So we now officially have 7 score predictions, and now we will see who ends up getting the closest or maybe even completely right. As Pietrangelo with a shot that one stopped by the court. Puck is loose, but the Kraken get to it, and they'll backhand it out as Tolvanen almost was able to get to a streaking Gord. It's now a turnaround shot. Rebound try, and they score! Yanni Gord, who has been a menace on the ice today against the Golden Knights. He's able to get around a defender, chip the puck, took a shot, and then scored on his own rebound. And just 2:10 into the third, the Kraken take a commanding 3-0 lead. So just a bad situation there because the puck was loose. Logan Thompson tried to sweep the puck away. He whiffed at it. And then Yanni Gord was able to knock it into the net through the legs of Thompson. And now the Kraken have a big 3-0 lead here early. So all 3 goals for the Kraken in this one have come early in the period. So really, Seattle's been able to find a way early in these periods to get a goal. So now Cartier, who has an assist in this one, leaves it now over to Yamamoto just out of his reach. And now Kolesar intercepts it. Here he comes up the left side, one-on-one with Vince Dunn. Tries to take a shot, but it got blocked by Dunn. Waugh trying to keep it in for Vegas. He bounces around, and now Decord goes behind his own net, leaves it for Schultz. And now Wenberg gets to it. Now over to Dunn. Vince Dunn, he has an assist in this one. Stops, throws it in front, but couldn't get it to the net. Wenberg now gets to it for Seattle. Backhands it to McCann. McCann behind the net. You get backhands it to the top of the point to Dunn. Now back to McCann on the left side. Wraps it around to Wenberg. Tries to feed it in front. He had Tanev, but the pass got broken up. And Mark Stone will chip it to McNabb. Barbashev now to Stone. Stone tries to get around Larson, and he gets denied by Decord. I think that was a shot. Opportunity here for Vegas. Waits. Shot there by Eichel. Couldn't get it on net. Still with the puck now. Top of the point to Whitecloud. Over the left side to McNabb. He takes a slap shot that gets blocked, and Vince Dunn will get to it, and he'll backhand it out. Oh, Jack Eichel, sharp angle. He had Joey Decord down, but couldn't get it past him. I think it might have gotten blocked. Decord now up to 23 saves on 23 Vegas shots. Gaza says, Neil called it, an early goal for the Kraken, but will a shutout happen now? We shall see. Yanni Gord, his 5th goal of the year. He now has 5 goals, 9 assists on the season. Just a bad defensive play there. First of all, 43, Cutter turning over that puck, and then Logan Thompson with a poor attempt of sweeping that puck away. And Yanni Gord, who has been all over the ice and has had so many opportunities, finally gets rewarded. Marchessault tries to backhand it, but it's fought off by Decord. Eberle will drop it off to Borgen, and Borgen will chip it out. Now a 2-on-1 for Seattle. Here comes Tatar, feeds over Beniers, and he missed the net. Oh, he did have an opening, and he lifted the puck, but lifted it too much. Oh, that would have been pretty much the nail in the coffin. Current money line, minus 3,500 for Seattle, and plus 1,400 for Vegas. And those are the latest odds, courtesy of the official sports betting partner of the Hockey Podcast Network, DraftKings Sportsbook. Alexiak will settle it down here as both teams making a change with 15:20 to go in the third. Yanni Gord, just a few moments ago, gave the Kraken now a 3-0 lead as they are looking to solidify what has been so far a great Winter Classic for this Kraken team in their first Winter Classic and first outdoor game. Now Carlson will take a shot as he came into the zone, and Decord makes the save easily. We're going to face off here just about 5 minutes into the third period. You look here, Tomas Tatar, beautiful saucer feed to Beniers, and Beniers really just missed it wide. That's the second time that Beniers has had a point-blank opportunity to score, and that kind of shows you just how tough of a year it's been for the reigning Calder Trophy Rookie of the Year winner. But again, still a lot more time. Is now 22. He tried to have an opportunity, got broken up. Here come the Kraken, might be a 2-on-1. Bjorkstrand tries to feed it to Tolvanen, but it got broken up by Haig. But now Bjorkstrand gets it back. Bjorkstrand in the left corner. Feeds it over, just out of the reach of Schultz, but he regains it. Schultz around the boards. Now over to Yanni Gourde. Both teams whacking up, but now Nick Hague recovers it for Vegas, and he'll flip it out of the zone. I got to look back because I'm not sure, but I think Tolvanen may have gotten credited with an assist on that last goal. When we get a stoppage of play, we'll check as Yanni Gourde comes in with a wrist shot, and that one's blocked aside by Thompson. Tolvanen, top of the point now, feeds it to the left side, now to Oleksiak. Oleksiak now top of the point to Borgen with a drive. It goes wide. Rebound try is stopped by Thompson. Seattle keeps it in. Oleksiak, now to Borgen. Wrist shot through traffic, never gets there, gets blocked. William Karlsson trying to get it out, and he finally is able to here. As now Oleksiak trying to fight off Cutter. Or excuse me, that's 22 of Vegas. Oleksiak weaving his way through. Nice feed over there. Cartier now to Burakovsky. Burakovsky gets it over now to Yamamoto. Yamamoto still with the puck. Stopped. Right, left corner now. Backhands it around. Yamamoto does. Pietrangelo backhands it. Can't get it out. Burakovsky intercepts. Burakovsky now top of the point to Adam Larsson. Feeds it over to Dunn. Dunn now back to Larsson. Larsson over the left side of Burakovsky. Burakovsky tried to feed it over to Yamamoto, but it got broken up. Vegas looks to come the other way. Wall up the left side. Trying to get around Larsson. And Larsson with a good hit. Very clean hit there. As now the puck gets dumped back into the Vegas zone. And it will be enough for an icing with 13:06 to go in this third. 3-0 Seattle, thanks to the most recent goal from Yanni Gourde. Angus said, my prediction, which was calculated by my scientific calculators random number generator, is forming. As, Angus is feeling pretty good about his prediction. I will say, just like everyone else, Vegas needs to start scoring some goals to get a lot of people's prediction even close to being right. So we've just reached over 7 minutes into this third period. If Vegas has any hope of getting back into one, they got to score, and they got to score ASAP. Stone tried to drop it top of the point, but Pietrangelo wasn't there. Pietrangelo gets to it, and he'll dump it back in to the Seattle zone. So now Oleksiak will be behind his net as he'll look to push the pace. Makes a long feed that goes all the way down. Is that going to be enough for an icing? It will. So face-off back in the Seattle zone with 12:33 to go in the third period. Beautiful, beautiful T-Mobile Park in Seattle, right across the street from where the Seahawks play. Seattle Mariners of Major League Baseball are the team that plays there, and now it gets to say that it's been home to an NHL Winter Classic game. And so far, if you're a Seattle fan, you got to be loving how this game has gone. You have pretty much been the more dominant team. You've been rewarded with 3 goals, and right now you're just looking to really put this, really firmly knock this one down as DeCord will cover it. We'll lock this one down and go from there. 12:19 to go in this third period. Yanni Gourde, again, with the most recent goal. That made it 3-0, and that really just kind of, you feel in a way, you wonder if that's going to be enough to be the nail in the coffin, but it's tough to say. Face off to the right of DeCord in the Seattle zone right now. And the face-off won here cleanly by Seattle as Oleksiak will now play the puck. Jamie Oleksiak flips it high up into the air, back into the Vegas zone, where Hague will settle it now for Vegas. Marchessault, so back in his own zone, leaves it over the white cloud, chips off the stick of Stevenson, no icing. There's Dumoulin, now over to Schultz. Tatar tried to backhand it out, he cannot get it out, as now feeds it over to Stevenson. Jalen Stevenson backhands it into the right corner. William Carrier fighting along here with Matty Beniers. Now puck is loose. Jordan Eberle gets to it easily. And now he tried to get a feed over to Dumoulin, but just out of his reach. So now both teams make a little bit of a change with 11 and a half minutes to go in this third period. Nice feed, Eberle. He waits. Backhand feed over to Tatar, and he couldn't get a stick on it. He got a piece, but couldn't control it enough to get a shot on. As now White Cloud behind his net. Looking for help. He's able to safely get it to Hague. And now Hague chips it up the boards to Stevenson, who will backhand it in. But it's knocked down by Seattle and back out of their zone. So right now, Again, you're Vegas. You really, really got to find a way to put a full court press on Seattle's defense, who is really frustrated. And that includes, obviously, Joey Decord. Really just been frustrating the Golden Knights all game long. Puck behind the net now in the Vegas zone. Both teams got two players whacking at it. Bjorkstrand gets it for Seattle, gets it top of the point, now to Schultz, now to Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand tries to feed it, almost got to Gord. Intercepted by Vegas, who will chip it out of the zone. As now both teams racing towards it, and Cutter, he gets knocked into the boards here. No penalty. Ref says play on. There's now an opportunity. Seattle may have a step here. They come in with a shot, and that one goes high and wide of Thompson. Puck stays in the zone. Net shot there in the slot from Bjorkstrand goes wide of Thompson. As now here comes Vegas the other way with 10-20 in ticking. That shot there gets blocked. Right now, Vegas trying to put some forecheck on, but they cannot get to it. Gord chips it up to Bjorkstrand, and however, Bjorkstrand will kill a little bit of clock and dump it off the boards and out, all the way back down, and that will be enough for an icing. So face-off back in the Seattle zone with 10:06 to go here. We have still yet to have our first kind of commercial break. Kyler Yamamoto has the fourth most points of any player born in Washington State. He's currently at 129. He is 70 points exactly behind Derek Ryan for third most. The Yamamoto brothers both born in Spokane, Washington, and now Yamamoto gets the chance to play for his hometown team, which granted, when he came up originally in the NHL with the Oilers, they didn't have a team in Seattle, but now he gets to be here and play for his hometown team in front of his family and friends, and I'm sure that's awesome. Now Pietrangelo with a shot. That one gets blocked, and that's easily picked up by Yanni Gord. So we've just reached the halfway point of this third. And once again, another icing against the Kraken. So Seattle has iced the puck quite a lot in this third period. I don't know if they're necessarily playing back. It doesn't really feel like it, but they've certainly struggled to avoid icing the puck. 9:51 to go here. Yamamoto, he signed a contract with the Kraken back on July 1st. First Washington-born player to play for Seattle, and he played for the Spokane Chiefs from 2014 to about, I think it said 2016 or 2018. So he's been the local boy. It's like my dad used to say, an old saying, "Local boy done good," and I'm sure a lot of Seattle fans are happy that they got a native. As that shot is fought off by Decord there, and the rebound was snuffed out. Vegas with a little bit of good pressure here, probably their best of the period. But then again, it's intercepted by Wenberg, and Seattle dumps it out. So you kind of wonder what the mindset is and the game plan is for Seattle at this point. Are they going to play a little bit more defensive and try to just not allow Vegas to score? Or are they going to try to remain aggressive here and really, really try to bury the Golden Knights in this one? This puck goes all the way down. No icing here, as we now have just 9 minutes to go in this one. Seattle still up 3-0. That puck gets dumped into the left corner. Seattle wanted an icing. The ref says no. And that puck deflects up and out of play by the Kraken bench. 8:51 to go in this one. Yanni Gord, with the most recent goal, way back at the early point of this period, has given the Kraken a commanding 3-0 lead. So we are back here more than halfway through this third period of this year's Winter Classic. Yanni Gourde with the most recent goal less than 3 minutes into this period made it 3-0. It has pretty much been all Seattle in this one. Despite a lot of good shots and chances from Vegas, Joey Daccord continuing to frustrate and dominate this very talented defending Stanley Cup champion Golden Knights team. But Seattle honestly has brought a lot more hustle. They've been a lot more aggressive at times. And when they've gotten those openings, they've taken advantage of them. You look back at the two best chances that Vegas has had. Back in the first period, Jack Eichel intercepts a pass. He's all alone. He tries to make a couple of dekes, but Joey Daccord denies him. And then back in the second period, Mark Stone deflects a shot off the right arm of Daccord off the post. If those two goals happen, granted, Seattle is still winning this game as a rebound shot there by Marchessault gets stopped and covered by Daccord. But if you think about it, if those goals happen, maybe it's not 3-2. Maybe this game is completely different. But yeah, as now Daccord, that shot from Marchessault gives him now 30 saves on the game. A phenomenal performance up until this point, and he still has 8:40 left to secure what would be a historic win for Seattle in their first outdoor and first Winter Classic game, and especially against the defending Stanley Cup champions. And when you're also obviously trying to get back into a playoff position, this is going to be two of the biggest points of the season for sure. Vegas dumps it back into the Seattle zone here. Borgen has the second goal of this game, his first goal of the year, which came early in the second. So now Seattle dumps it out. As now Eberle tried to get a streaking Borgen going, but that pass got broken up. Shots currently 30-25 in favor of Vegas now. So I think Vegas, in terms of shots on goal and maybe even to an extent chances, has been the better team in this third, but they made one mistake and Seattle took advantage of it and they scored. And that's really been kind of the big difference in this game for for both of these teams. 8:06 to go in this one. Face off to the right of Joey Daccord in the Seattle zone. Matty Beniers against William Karlsson in the face-off dot. And the face-off won cleanly by Vegas is now McNabb. Gets it now over to Cutter. That shot gets deflected up into the right corner of the Seattle zone here as both teams whacking at it. Waugh wraps it around the boards, and McNabb is just able to keep it in. And now Seattle tried to go the other way, and we are going to get a penalty. As even though it wasn't intentional because McNabb just fell down, he ends up tripping the Seattle player, and we have our first penalty against the Golden Knights here. As now the Kraken will go to their first power play of the game with a chance maybe to get a fourth goal before this one is over. Less than 8 minutes to go in this one. 3-0 Seattle with a Kraken power play incoming. So the Seattle Kraken are going to their first power play here fairly late in this third period, up nothing. Jordan Eberle drew the penalty. It is a tripping call against the Golden Knights. And we'll see if Seattle can take advantage of this man advantage and really, really put the nail, hammer the nail in the coffin here is what has been so far a great performance in their first Winter Classic for the Seattle Kraken. Shots 29-25 in favor of Vegas. So they took a shot away. So Decourt's next save will give him his 30th as Vegas immediately clears on that one on this power play with 7:40 in ticking. Now, if you're Seattle, you could also, potentially use this as a way to just kill off 2 minutes as Brayden McNabb goes to the box. So both teams have taken one penalty and they've been by team's defenseman. Larson for Seattle took a penalty and now Brayden McNabb just took one. As now Yamamoto wraps around the boards over to Bjorkstrand, and now Seattle will look to set up with 90 seconds to go on the power play. As now McCann gets to the puck. Top of the point, now to Dunn. Now over to Bjorkstrand. Back to Dunn. The left side to McCann. McCann with a drive, and that one is fought off by Thompson. And now Vegas looks to come the other way. Might be a 2-on-1 shorthanded. Eichel with space takes a shot, and he hit the post, and it goes out of play. Jack Eichel with another great opportunity, but this time the post denies him. And all Eichel can do is just shake his head and say, why? As we got 7:11 to go in this one, and we got 1 minute exactly to go on the power play for Seattle, as Vegas now they've had 3 great chances to score, and oh my goodness, 2 posts. I mean, it's just not been their day. 7 minutes exactly to go in this one. Is drive from goes wide of the net. As Vegas trying to get aggressive here on this shorthanded with 1 minute to go on the power play for Seattle. 6:49 and ticking to go in this third. Eberle comes up the center of the ice with some speed, drops off to Beniers on the left side. Matty Beniers comes in, still with it, lost the puck. Zach Whitecloud gets to it, and he'll bank it off the boards and out. And now Vegas once again looking to come the other way short-handed. Chandler Stevenson being fought off by Tolvanen. Stevenson backhands it around the boards. Burakovsky being hounded by Mark Stone. Whitecloud keeps it in. Whitecloud throws it to the right side, but it's picked up by Schultz, and Schultz will calmly chip it over to Burakovsky, who took a little longer than expected. Burakovsky now over to Beniers with 20 seconds to go on the power play. 6:09 to go in this one. Beniers stops, tries to chip it in, but he is called for offsides. 6:06 to go in this one. 17 seconds to go on the 2-minute tripping call to Brayden McNabb. So neither team's power play, which granted they've only each had one chance, haven't really done much of anything. But I think overall it's been a fairly clean game. I think it's just been a really good performance from the Seattle team that really, really needs a big win like this. Again, they are on the verge of winning their 5th game in a row and also moving their point streak to 9 games. Just crazy. Dunn keeps it in here. Power play is up for Seattle, so I think they got maybe one shot. It looks like they actually got no shots on goal there. Eichel had the best chance shorthanded, but he hit the post instead of beating the cord. But if anything, that was just 2 minutes to kill off more time as we have 5.5 minutes to go in this one. Seattle still comfortably up 3-0 here in this one. Now Tanev chips it over to Dunn. Dunn almost spun out, almost fell over. And now Yanni Gourde, who has the only goal of this period and most recent one, has the puck, and he'll dump it into the Vegas zone. Goss says Golden Knights were like Golden Nuggets right now. They're not doing much of any. I mean, they've had some chances. They've had 3 that stand out to me that could have been goals, but they haven't been able to cash in. Yanni Gourde comes in, tries to feed it in front, and that one goes off someone and almost went in. Gourde keeps it in, throws it in front. That shot's deflected. Scramble in front. Tatar whacked at it, but Thompson got the save. Oh, and another opportunity on a deflection there, and Seattle almost was able to get another one. As now Zach Whitecloud will get to it and give it to Eichel. Eichel will stop. 2 shots on that last shift. So now Seattle's up to 27. So shots 29-27 in favor of Vegas. Whitecloud over to Mark Stone. And Mark Stone will get it now to Chandler Stevenson, but he lost it. And now Eberle comes the other way. Jordan Eberle gets around Stone. Eberle still with it. Takes a shot that goes very wide of Thompson. Seattle trying to keep it in. Dumoulin, Gets it. Now, Eberle, he's fighting along now with McNabb. Eberle's still fighting along as he got knocked down. No penalty. But now Beniers picks it up for Seattle. Gets it now to Dumoulin. Dumoulin now over to Larson. He takes a shot, and that one might have been deflected. He goes up and out of play. 4:02 to go in this Winter Classic. Seattle up 3-0 on the verge of a big special victory to kick off 2024. So just a little over 4 minutes to go in the third period of this year's NHL Winter Classic. The Kraken have gotten one goal in each of these three periods. Eeli Tolvanen with the only goal back in the first. The second goal came from Will Borgen, his first of the year. That made it 2-0. And then Yanni Gourde, early in this third, tripled the lead. And so right now, Seattle is looking like they're on their way to a very impressive victory in this Winter Classic as Vince Dunn with a shot that gets fought off by Thompson. Top of the point now to Larson. Larson takes a wrist shot that goes wide to the right side of Thompson. Seattle trying to keep it in, but it's chipped out of the zone by Vegas. 3:45 to go. I think because it's 3-0, I don't expect Bruce Cassidy to pull his netminder, especially with there only being 3.5 minutes. But things could change if Vegas can find the back of the net. There's now an opportunity, 43 with a shot that goes wide of Decord. And now Alexiak chips it up the boards and out with 3:24 and ticking to go in this third. Vegas trying to come back in, and they are offsides. So right now, again, if Seattle can hold on and win here, they will move to within 1 point of the second wild card spot in the Western Conference. They will also move their winning streak to 5 in a row and then move their point streak to 9 games, which in that stretch would make them 7-0-2, which is incredible. So they have really, really started playing their best hockey at a really good time throughout December, and now they are looking like that they're going to get off to a fantastic start in the year 2024 and in the month of January. Puck goes all the way down behind the Vegas zone. No icing here. So the ref says play on. So Pietrangelo with a long feed there as now Jack Eichel comes in. Eichel with two of the best chances to score in this game and got denied twice, once by Decord and the other by the post, as that shot there from Pietrangelo is easily gloved down by Decord to officially now give him his 30th save of the day. And Joey Decord has got to be one of the 3 stars of this one. He has been nothing short of spectacular as he continues to play well since December 12th, as he looks like he is on his way to his 6th win in the last 8 games that he has played. He has been tremendous and been a big reason to the success of late for Seattle, as the Golden Knights have pulled Logan Thompson here for the extra skater. So now we'll see if Vegas can make a miracle run here in the last 2:40. Stevenson gets around a defender here, gets around another, tries to feed it in front, and it goes off the skate of Marchessault, but Vegas regains it here. Pietrangelo with a shot that gets blocked. Another try there, goes around the boards with 2.5 minutes to go. That shot gets blocked as well. Stevenson, he takes a shot and one gets blocked. As now Pietrangelo trying to set something up, gets it now over to William Karlsson, now over to Stevenson. Stevenson tries to feed over Jack Eichel with a shot, and he is robbed by the glove hand of Joey Daccord, and it's just gotten even worse for Jack Eichel as he had a great opportunity. It looked like for sure this one was going to end up being in the back of the net, but Joey Daccord with the great T-push, the diving glove save, and he denies Eichel for the third time today as that pushes him to now, 33 saves? Check again here. His 32nd save, and it was a beauty with 2:12 to go in this one. Face-off won by Seattle, and they'll chip it out. Again, Vegas pulled their net, pulled Thompson, so the net is empty. As now here comes Karlsson, who will dump it in with less than 2 minutes to go in this one. Alexiak, he tries to get it out, and he does. It rolls all the way down, wide of the net, and that'll be enough for an icing here with 1:50 to go. So I think at this point it's safe to say that the winning team has pretty much been determined. The question is, what is the result going to end up being? So we shall see. Joey Daccord, his dad is a goaltending coach who also coached Corey Schneider, for fun fact. Also, Daccord has a lot of the famous Seattle Mariners. He has it on his helmet. He has a bunch of trading cards painted on. So that's a really cool design to honor all of the greats of the Seattle Mariners, from Edgar Martinez to Ken Griffey Jr. and guys like that. Now Pietrangelo, his pass intercepted. Braden, as McCann tries to backhand it to the empty net, intercepted by Karlsson. 90 seconds to go in this one. I'm going to star this comment because it's a legendary one from Gaza. He says, Honda Daccord. That was good. That was good, Gaza. I like that. I like that a lot. 1:15 to go in this one. Ken Vegas, that one's intercepted by Tanev, whose shot just goes wide as he looked for the empty net. As now Gord intercepts it for a moment, but now here comes Mark Stone the other way for Vegas. He comes into the zone now with 1 minute to go in this one. Nice feed to Marchessault with a shot. That one's fought off by the shoulder of Daccord. And Dumoulin tries to get out. He cannot. But now Vegas get it out themselves. Got to be careful as Eichel drags down Gord. No penalty. As that fluttering shot was saved by Daccord. Alexiak backhands it. Can't get it out. Yanni Gord intercepts it. He's keeping it in with 35 seconds to go. Now Stone over to Eichel. Eichel to Karlsson, but he couldn't keep it in. As Barbashev with a shot that goes wide of the court. 28 seconds to go in this one. Still have an opportunity, and that one is broken up. 23 seconds to go. Drive by Pietrangelo. That stop. Rebound try, and it's fanned by Eichel. 20 seconds to go in this one. Pietrangelo now. He fakes the slap shot. Gets over to the right side now to Barbashev. Now back to Pietrangelo. Pietrangelo with a shot. That gets blocked by Tanev. 6 seconds to go in this one. Puck in the right side. Puck comes down, and we have a stoppage in play for something as Tanev and Mark Stone with a little bit of pushing and shoving. 5.8 to go. I think they did just call a penalty, so this will be just the third of the game. And it's a slashing call here against, I think it's Pietrangelo. Oh, and it is. Oh, that is an aggressive slash from Alex Pietrangelo on Tanev, who didn't like that. So that will pretty much, I think that's pretty much going to seal the deal for Vegas in terms of having a chance to score. One last faceoff back in the Seattle zone here, and then they'll be able to run out the last 5.8 of this one. Pietrangelo, all you can do is sit there, shake his head, face off to the right of Thompson. Face off one cleanly by Vegas, and that will do it as the Seattle Kraken win this one decisively with the first ever shutout in the Winter Classic, and they win this one by the final score of 3-0. Joey Daccord with his second career shutout. Again, the first one in NHL Winter Classic history. That makes it a 5-game winning streak for the Kraken, and their point streak moves to an impressive 9 games in a row. Joey Decord with the shutout. He stopped all 35 shots that he faced. And overall, just a great day to be a Seattle Kraken and Seattle sports fan in their first ever Winter Classic and outdoor game. They make a lot of history. And so again, congratulations to the Seattle Kraken on a phenomenal win in this year's Winter Classic. So just really a tremendous team effort by the Kraken. They got goal support throughout this one. They got 1 goal in each of the 3 periods. You go back to the summary here, and you got Eeli Tolvanen with the first goal back in the first period, which was also his 100th career point. Then you had Will Borgen scoring his first goal of the season. That made it 2-0. Cartier and Eeli Tolvanen got assists on that one. And then Yanni Gourde on a takeaway was able to score the third one, which wasn't the game winner, but it was certainly the nail in the coffin just over 2 minutes into the period. And just a great game. For me, the 3 guys that stand out the most to me in this one for Seattle was you got to give Joey Decord his flowers. 35 save shutout, the first shutout in Winter Classic history. Eeli Tolvanen with a goal and an assist in this one. And then Yanni Gourde, who had so many chances throughout this game to score, finally got rewarded with 1 goal and 5 shots for him. A phenomenal game and a great historical win for Seattle. It was so much fun to do this game, and I want to thank everybody who interacted with me today and took time out of your New Year's Eve to hang out with us. Really do appreciate it. You have a great one as well, Angus. Thank you so much, and again, Happy New Year to you as well. Guys are saying the only outdoor NHL game that didn't have a shutout was the Centennial Classic between the Leafs and Red Wings. That was at BMO Field in Toronto back in January of 2017. And the Leafs won that one in dramatic fashion, winning 5-4. But the Seattle Kraken, with the first ever Winter Classic shutout, beating the Golden Knights 3-0, thanks to a 35 save shutout performance from number 35, Joey Decord for the Kraken. And so, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for us for this very special Winter Classic live watch along here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. As always, thank you all so much for taking time today to hang out with us. We do appreciate it. Before you go, leave a like on this video. If you like what you saw, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we go live right here for live watch alongs here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. And follow us on social media on both Twitter and Instagram at HockeyPodNet. You can also follow my personal Twitter at The MVP Show. I would really love for you guys to interact with me on there as well. And you can also check out my podcast, The Devil's State of Mind Podcast, which covers the New Jersey Devils here on THPN. I'm posting weekly episodes. You can follow us on Instagram at Devil's State of Mind and Twitter at Devil's State. And you can go check out the Devil's State of Mind podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. And make sure to go check out all of the other ones covering every team in the NHL right here on THPN. And Andrew, man, great to see you as well. Rock on for sure. But again, thank you so much for hanging out with us today for this Winter Classic edition of Live Watch Along. And we will see you in the next Live Watch Along. Once again, the final score here in this one, the Seattle Kraken locked down the first ever shutout in Winter Classic history as they take this one at home in Seattle by the final score of 3-0. Everyone continue to be the awesome people that you are. Happy New Year. Happy 2024 to everybody. I hope you guys enjoy it and make sure to rock on.
Say something.